Futures back in negative territory this morning, coming off second straight pretty impressive rally to end yesterday, even as we got more comments from Fed Chair Powell. More earnings to deal with this morning in the retail sector. Not good on a few fronts. We'll talk about target shares obviously coming up here to the downside on rising costs, inflation fears. Another retail getting hit pretty hard here in the pre-market for TGT. There's a few, though, to discuss. Tuesday's market reversal extended the comeback off year lows for the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. Can it hold? We are, as I said, headed back to the downside ever so slightly here in the pre-market. End of the day yesterday, the Dow was up about 1.3%. The S&P, nice day, 2% rally. The NASDAQ led the way, though, almost a 3% kind of a day for the NASDAQ and tech shares yesterday. Overall, though, the S&P still kind of flirting with that bear market territory on the year, that 20% mark. We'll see what happens over the next couple of days here. Target, the main focus this morning, obviously off another disappointing earnings report for the retailer, and the forecast going to be a problem coming off what happened to Walmart shares. We'll talk about that coming up as well. It's Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. That's needs to be updated. We will move along. Yeah, we're back in the red. That was the end of the day yesterday. You saw some pretty impressive numbers there. Back in the red for the S&P. About 0.7 right now. The NASDAQ even worse. Crude oil, nice move so far, 2+% back to the upside here. I noticed Bitcoin and Ethereum pretty quiet to start things off this morning as well. But we're trying to hold some key levels here for both the ES and the NQ to start things off. Hope your morning is going well, guys. Good morning. More retail destruction this morning. Coming off that move, as I said, in Walmart yesterday. Home Depot, the outlier, but as we saw, quickly green to red right out of the gate yesterday. But I read last night it was the biggest single-day decline for Walmart shares since the Friday before Black Monday in 1987. So that kind of puts that into perspective a little bit.
Well, hold my beer, says Target. Or hold my vodka, whiskey, whatever you want to use here. Welcome. Target doubled that up. So we don't have to talk, well, we'll talk about Walmart because why not? But we'll have to talk about Target today because they're getting absolutely crushed. And in a lot of ways, their earnings were, would you expect, they're so similar, would you expect it to have been fantastic? Probably not. But if you told me they were going to double up, I wouldn't have believed you to the downside. But hey, if you're not in any retailers, here's your chance. I took a quick casual look this morning because I knew it would be down just to see how far. Costco was down, only 6%, but if they get swept up in this, hey man, I've always kind of wanted to have some Costco shares. But look, obviously the market is slightly pulling back in here today after all the heavy lifting done by the semis. We're here to talk some of those. I'm in NEO right now. It's been a long going into whenever these earnings are coming. Just watching resistance on multiple time frames for both the NASDAQ, some specific names as well, putting in some interesting tops. And we'll get into the charts before, but yeah, not a good look because with the R word hanging around, seeing these retailers get shellacked like this isn't a good starting sign for the second, for the end of these earnings and for what will be the second half of the year. But wow, Target. Yeah, it's one of these like short till it's not things. We've seen these pop before. Usually it's heavily shorted names that get the bigger dead cat bounces off these 20-25% moves to the downside. I wouldn't put it past Target. They're not that expensive of a stock. But, what an unbelievable shakeout it's having here. Just don't lose sight of the rest of the space, which is getting dragged down with it. There's going to be some value in the next couple of days, I would suspect, on some of the better names.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, bad print for there for Target. But like as expected, we talked about this yesterday. You're never expecting down, 24% plus on that kind of a move. But you've seen it. And I even remember saying yesterday that we saw Target move up like 40% one time on one of their earnings calls. So they're a little bit off base, I guess, with some of the guides and things like that. But yeah, 50% down on their profits, not great. AMD today, I have a few ideas of the sticky notes out, and so I don't know. I'm not as confident on the direction of the market here today. We're still down that 1%. I feel like NASDAQ being up 2.7% yesterday was quite large. So that move on AMD that started yesterday down here, and we had this move, so it's fine, 97 longs, but we went to 103. Like, that was a monster move there for AMD yesterday. Like, you're talking about 7-8% at the top, if not more there. So I don't know. I'm talking about fading it here on the sticky note. NVIDIA gets downgraded today, so I kind of want to see what happens if AMD flies. I have the offers in here at about 102, things like that into that area, just to see if AMD has a problem at this top side. So look, we don't want to short the best names out there, but you know, it was a little exaggerated yesterday with the NASDAQ up that 2.7%. I also want Facebook longs, I want Microsoft short, and I want Apple shorts, but that's all the same. We have Veru making some moves here today, so Fahad will be happy to pick that up if it gets a little bit lower. Walmart, Microsoft, Target, yeah, they're all on watch here today. It should be another exciting day as it's hump day here. Someone said it's $5 sushi day. I don't know if I want to trust sushi that is $5.
Don't buy sushi at a discount.
Yeah, make sure you get it. I mean, look, I don't know. Maybe there's a reputable place. I got an eyelash.
I don't know, man.
But anyways, I just saw someone post that. And this was like right when we started the show. So shout out to whoever that was. Go get that sushi for $5. Why not get 2 for 10?
Nope. That's like when you go to the grocery store at the end of the day and they just give away the sushi that's left over at the sushi station.
You don't want that.
No. 7% I just checked for Macy's here in the pre-market, guys. May 26th, we get Macy earnings. So 7% and still a week away for that. Before we go any further, let's bring in Miss V. Good morning.
Good morning, team. Happy trading to you all. I wish you another wonderful, profitable day. Please make sure you like this video and let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, lots to get through this morning, guys, as we head towards the open. I mean, we can start things off with a look at retail once again, but I just saw as well 6.8% on the CPI in this country from last month versus 6.7 expected. So not as bad as we've been saying over the past little while in Canada versus the U.S., but still on the rise. So 6.7 in March, 6.8 here again this morning. I mean, we were talking about gas prices, guys, higher again today, I saw. And I also read that it's going to be $2.20 a liter by the weekend here.
Oh, so I should fill up tonight. All right, nice. On the way to swimming.
Yeah, we got Costco gas at 201 2 days ago or something. I still got an eyelash in my eye here. So yeah, that's not good. But you know, you can combat these prices by just simply going long some energy names. So, you know, the fact that we're in this business does help a little bit to combat that, but you never like to take money out of your pocket. That's a little unnecessary. But yeah, natural gas here. I mean, here is oil today. We went up to 115 again there. So that's like been pretty nasty of a move. If you look at a daily chart for this is just going to be for this contract. If and when it loads, you know, we've got as high here as 118. This, I don't have the extended contract, but I think we were, what was it? Was it 120? Oops, that's the wrong chart. Oops, I did it on the wrong chart. Hold on a second, guys. NQ, no, it's CL $F, I think, on e-signal. I'm just going to call up, the extended contract here for crude. So here it comes right now. So there's the high that I was talking about. Yeah, so it was 125. So we got as high as 125. In some of that chaos, we wicked as high as 130. But as you can see, I believe you're going to be correct here, Brendan. Not that you're correct, but that 220 in gas oil looks like it wants to go higher. We're banging right now, guys, right on. See if I can maybe make this, I don't know if that makes it any better. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. There it is. This 116 is right where we're touching at right now. So it's like you're well above some of these moving averages and volume weighted average price. And then you're bouncing off this 116. If we take that out right now on crude, look how well it's held. I mean, this is a great channel. It's $20, so that's pretty... Normally, that's not that stable for oil, but, you know, back and forth here, up to 116, holds 96, tries to go back, holds, tries again, holds, and then we take it out. So, you know, it was battling around this 110 a little bit here, broke through there. Now we're going to test here 116. So let's see if we can hold above 116 today. I mean, I don't want it to, but, you know, we still stay long our XLE and some of our energy names. So I don't mind this. We've also talked about Valero over the last little while, so we can have a look at that as well. That's pumping higher as oil refiners just continue to go, man. I mean, their lack of inventory here heading into the summer months, not a good sign as travel is on everybody's mind. Everybody wants to get out. So as this continues to be a problem, gas prices, and I don't know if there's going to be price gouging at some point here, if this is even what this is, but we don't have a choice but to fill up our tanks. So just like you said, Brendan, Neil, the more we panic here to go fill up our tanks, the more they have us, because if it's going to be 220 tomorrow, it's going to be 225 by the weekend. So, there's no real relief in sight that I can see here for oil. I mean, Joe Biden's talking about inflation. They can't really control it, so there's not much for them to do. They're not drilling enough. They're not pumping enough out. So we're going to have to wait to see what happens here with crude oil. But, yeah, a close above 116 is not good.
Yeah, and this is a horrible thing to say. I'm kind of going to say it. We're not in England, and what's going on there, like, inflation is worse in the UK, and they're already talking about food shortages as well. The word catastrophic gets thrown around there, and hopefully we don't see that kind of a thing here, but that's the environment that we're looking at. Specifically, Occidental has just been, like, if you look at the daily chart, like, that's about as clean a break as you're going to see on this kind of a time frame. At 65, it's now breaking out. It's kind of having some trouble getting to the 70 level, so there is a bit of a consolidation that's going on off of that 65 break, but it's on the higher end. And there hasn't been just no stop in sight here for Oxy. Super, super strong name. This is the trading vehicle. Like, when we get the big levels, it's this or Chevron that I go to. Usually I'll fade Chevron and try longs and Oxy, although the last time I traded Oxy was to the short side, but I only do that after it pulls back. And that's what I'm looking for. Like, we actually get a pullback off the level Sean mentioned, an Oxy can get down, and maybe if it stays up here, I think it's a play down to 65. But you need to see a pullback in oil first things first. And yes, everybody in the chat, I am aware of Genius Brands and their licensing deal for Stan Lee. It's very close to $1, and that's the magic number. So Genius Brands is in the news there. I think a couple of people have put that one in the chat. And it is racing towards load. $1 here, up like 38% now, trying to get to the magical $1 mark. I don't see, it's only about 60,000 shares on the offer, and it's done about 7 million, and that's at 99. Not a big level at $1, but that's always a big psychological one. Haven't talked about Genius in a while, so they are on the radar, along with a certain AMC today we'll be talking about.
Yeah, blast from the past there for GNUS. Market at session lows here, guys. I was going to mention as well, we get a long weekend in Canada this weekend, then Memorial Day obviously next week in the US. So gas prices obviously going up ahead of the long weekend as well. DraftKings and Penn National worth a look this morning. A little bit active, a little bit more active than most. 2% to the downside for DKNG. Penn actually higher on this. Jeffries upgrade today for Penn National. Not a lot of volume for Penn. DraftKings doing more at this point, but maybe a sign that a little more positive sentiment maybe coming back in.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize that story there for Penn. I haven't really been paying much attention to them. I'm just noticing now that they're down to $30. I mean, that's pretty disastrous for them. But I mean, this whole business has been a disaster since everything changed in November. I mean, here we go, high flying up to $85. I mean, Penn was even better. We know all the talk with Barstool, and they took over the Score and things like that. And it's just been an absolute nightmare. I mean, Score shareholders got turned into Penn, which. I mean, I don't know. Who knows what Score would have done anyways at some point, but...
oh, come on. They would have tanked with the rest of the market.
Yeah. No, I know. But, I mean, it's just, down from 137 down to 31. I mean, the thing about it is, and I was saying this to Brendan sort of earlier today, there's a lot of stocks that are on sale, that are on great prices right now. And it's just, if you could figure out the story, then... you're going to have monster gains. Like, it's just a matter of this market finding its footing here, right? So Penn is right back into some of these COVID levels one more time, where we're at $30 to $37 down here. Nice little range. So if we can take down 37 and start to get back up through 39, I mean, here's the daily. If I zoom in a little bit more, a big move down. Like, you're just going to try to take out this $32. That's going to happen today, it looks like. And then you're through some disaster week here, and then maybe the next little little area to come through is 37.50. But again, I don't know when they report, but I don't want to be part of anything like that, because we've already seen what a name like Target, and I know Penn and Target aren't equal, but Wynn is going down. Some of these other Vegas names. I mean, Wynn's not bad. It's at 70, I think, right now, which are some levels that we like, but that touched $58. I mean, look at DraftKings as well here on a daily chart. That's been pretty disastrous, but it made a bottom. Like, can you believe DraftKings was even just 3 to 4 days ago was at $10? Now it's at $13.50. I mean, that's a 35% move to the upside in 3 days on DraftKings. Like, some of these names just got blown out so low that it's like, you know, if you were sitting there hoping, like we had Tony come on there the day after Unity got blown up, you know, and it's like, buy some Unity. Might not last very long, but you're getting nice bump ups for some of these names. So again, I'd like to see a lot of these beat down names take out the 50 period, which for DraftKings would be about $16. But I don't know, man, like, let's see what it did yesterday here, DKNG. I mean, obviously a lot of names ripped around yesterday. You had a nice move to the downside and then a big day there. So if today's going to be a negative day in the stock market, I do expect something similar to go to the downside. For DraftKings, I'm going to ignore that Penn upgrade and just look at this 1330. If we break that right there, then you probably retest, you know, for sure 13, and then let alone what happens after you break that. So I'm looking at that level right there. I actually could have added this to the sticky note. I didn't really realize that we'd be looking at some of these names, but right in there, 1330, I like that little level for DraftKings. Whether or not you want to play it long, fine, or short, but that's a good little level. We ticked it out yesterday before coming back in, broke it and took off and then held. So 1330 for DKNGs, might add that to the watch list, to the sticky note.
All right, memories this morning of Highcroft Mining. Haven't talked about that one for a while. HYMC, if you remember, was AMC's gold mining investment. Yeah, this is the latest, NCMI, which is one of those in-theater advertising media companies. Popping up this morning, big move here, 22% on a 6.8% passive stake from AMC.
Oh, false break. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I'll get to Gene's brands in a quick second there. This actually makes sense, NCMI. By the way, I just got in and out and back in on GNUS on a bit of a false break. But this NCMI, when I saw this story, the company was up 21% on a stake from AMC, my first thought was, oh, they bought another miner or something completely unrelated. But this is like a theater advertising business. Like, you know, when you go and watch you go to watch a movie, I haven't been in a while, but they got the ads and the stuff that comes before the previews and that, it's interactive and all that good stuff. Yeah, this is what they do. And, you know, Cinemark's there, they're in Cinemark theaters, they're in AMC theaters. There's probably a synergy there that makes a lot of sense, I'm going to say. All that said, it's a passive 7% stake. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to lead to something. And this stock has put in, whoops, wrong way. This stock has put in resistance below $2 before. So I'm looking at that shelf. If it gets there, I'm looking for a fade off of 2. It still has a chance that it might break out that pre-market high, but it's been sort of, it was barcoding before and I got in and out of it once. And you know, now it's been testing this $1.80. So that's not a ton of pre-market volume. Most of this has come on like little tiny spikes of dark pool prints. And when there's that lack of volume, the closer we get to the open, the less likely I think it actually takes out that 180 and we see that $2 mark. But if it takes out the top, there is room to go to $2. So it's either, if you play it in this range here short, like you got to be getting out there and re-engaging it too, which also happens to be its high post-market.
I don't know who it is, but someone on the chat was like, oh, thank you for telling me, Sean, to get into Zim. I don't even know what that is, so I just want to make everybody know.
Zim?
I know someone was pumping it, and I don't know if people are following it, so I just wanted to talk about that quickly. Okay, so right here for AMC, so that's what we're talking about. So I wanted to just have a look here. I'm thinking people wanted to think that AMC could run today. I'm not so sure that that's going to be the case. I mean, I feel like AMC runs when you sort of least expect it, and then on days when actually something comes out, then that are sort of the days where we kind of just dance around. So I'm not convinced that this is like a go day on AMC. But I mean, AMC's done well. We talked about buying some of these dips on this name. I've been to movie theaters in the last little while, and yeah, I mean, I really enjoy them, and I think we're going to be trying to go to some more as the summer months come out. So again, like, wow, some of these bottoms, man, like AMC was sub $10 4 days ago. Now and this is what I'm saying, like, it's not all, it is doom and gloom. I mean, don't get me wrong. We can't be happy about names that were $30 back in March and that are $15 today or $13 today. But on a little bit of a happier note here, I feel like AMC is trying to hold, well, did hold 10 bucks. So it's hard for me to say that this stock's going to moon at any time soon, but the business apparently isn't dead. And even though there's all this talk about streaming and this and that, look, man, it's still like an outing to go out, and people will go out to see things and watch movies, and it's a pastime. So again, this is going to sound like I'm like the biggest, not the biggest. I mean, there's a lot. I don't even own AMC shares. So I just looking at the price action here, I think that if we fall back into this area right here, this is a 20-minute chart, so 1250 or so. It's been tops there back on the 12th. It was tops on the 13th. Again. Yesterday we break higher and we go to 1350. So any kind of fade back in to 1250 might be something. And then the ultimate bottom right there is 1150. So, you're kind of trading in the middle if it gets in here, but nothing wrong with, if you like the story. And again, I'm not sure. This is probably a name that I'll look at around 10 o'clock, something like that, when the market's sort of settled down and we can really see what AMC wants to do. So, if we ever get, an opportunity to buy this thing around 12 and then use 1150 as a bottom, I think that's a super trade. So we might look at that as well. But, 1250 should hold. If it doesn't, we'll look to 12 to 1150 and then just trade it into there. This is a name, like I just mentioned, I'd rather get it on the way down and then have it pump back up than try to fight with it and say, will it hold this level? I don't know if it will hold. I want to see something hold. When it holds, just like this 1150, if you just waited for it, it held there, and then yesterday morning you had 1187, so you had 30 cents worth of risk for $2 upside. So you got to look at some of these names and not so much with rose-colored glasses, because it doesn't mean just because AMC's in the news that we're actually going to be rocking and rolling today. Let's hopefully it does, man. You have 500,000 shares in the pre-market. That's nice. Let's have a quick look here at the imbalance locator before we go over to Brendo. And yeah, unfortunately, I wish I did not look at this because honestly, there's not even a name on here that I know anything about. I mean, Merck is here, Citigroup is here, but these aren't names. I mean, we looked at Citigroup yesterday off that Warren Buffett investment. We put it on our sticky note through 50 bucks. That, was a great trade. It went to 51.50, so maybe we hold 50 today. Merck, I like names like this in this environment. We've seen Eli Lilly take out 300 again. Look at Merck here on a daily chart. Where is it? Right here. I mean, can we say anything better about this? Most stocks look the other way. Flip this chart around, and then you've got 90% of the S&P 500. But right now, Merck is nicely up and taking out some of these highs. So I think if you're going to be strong on names, you got to look to some of these healthcare biotech names. Not tech, I shouldn't throw biotech in there, but some of these more legacy names here, like a Merck, Bristol Myers. They're a little bit of trouble, but Eli Lilly, we've talked about AbbVie as well. That's a big name for me. So yeah, lots of names to look at, and we're about to get some more. My dad used to be, I guess still is, a refrigeration mechanic. So I am very, very familiar with the name Carrier, and that is on the downgrade side. Yikes.
Yeah, not one we look at terribly often, but there it is over there. Bank of America to the downside. Warby Parker as well. Goldman Sachs, the glasses retailer. Comstock and Galmed on that side of things. This is that, if you remember, end of last year, I think it was, that ON Swiss shoe company to the upside today from Williams. MNST, and there's that pen note from Jeffries, guys. It's worth noting as well, there is a negative note, as we said, on NVIDIA. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, NVIDIA is on my, it's not the crap list. It's just the levels that it's at, it makes some sense to the short side today. I was actually looking at Penn, but I kind of felt the same way that you did. Like, those seem like fades to me a little bit. overall. So I'm probably going to stay away from it. But if you just looked at the setup, if you got a negative day on pens specifically, or you got a pullback, it is really well set up at a resistance level. There's just so much that's at overhead resistance today. This at 32, and it's already rolling over, that you could probably play with DraftKings. This is worth looking at. Like, if there's a shot at this 32, it's pretty significant. But I do want to come here to Genius Brands. And for some reason, and I stopped myself from doing this because, like, I got in this mode at $1, where I've done spread trading in the past, where, like, essentially you passively sit on the offer and, like, collect a rebate. And I went from, like, just shorting it at $1 at 01s to then starting getting in and out, like, flat and trying to take a penny. I'm like, stop doing that. This is a significant level. So I'm back in it. I'm now just kind of holding it here, back to see if it pulls back. Like, it's made a bit of a top, this Genius Brands at $1. And if it gets to $1, this thing's got room to run. I'd say at least if it gets to $1, you got 115. The 200 period's also sitting right there. From that level, you're probably looking at like a 140 or a 150. But, you know, $1 is the obvious stop for every single penny stock. And even if it pulls back, it doesn't always mean that the move is done. But usually there's sellers at that particular price, which is why it's always worth going in, at least to a certain extent there. But have to scalp it out. It's going to do a ton of volume today.
Yeah, I mean, on that upgrades and downgrades page, I didn't look at too much stuff there. I mean, the only thing that was really noticeable to me, obviously, we talked about NVIDIA. Well, we talked about AMD earlier, but then, and we're going to run through a few stocks, so I don't want to talk about everything that we have here. But NVIDIA there on a Susquehanna downgrade, so we'll see where that goes. But down 2%, so almost, I was going to say double the market, but the market just shoot to the downside there. I was going to say it's something else there, but yeah, it is not expressing desire to be up today, as we have. Look at this move on the NASDAQ. What the heck?
Not expressing desire to be up today.
You like that one? Not expressing desire.
I expect you to just say it's shitting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say shitting the bed, but since you just said shitting there, I'll say it again. But yeah, no, look. I mean, this is a move down, man. We were up 2.7% yesterday. Now we're coming back down this 1.5%. It looks like it wants to go lower. And then we get that NVIDIA downgrade, which is not going to be nice. Yesterday, NVIDIA had problems, man. We talked about why we were long AMD, relative strength yesterday. And NVIDIA couldn't really get going. I mean, sure, it did sort of at the end of the day, all, you know, what do they say? Rising tides raise all ships. So that was a good move for NVIDIA. But even at the end of the day, it didn't take out its highs of 183 earlier. And then now today we get a little bit of a downgrade, you know, citing, and we'll get to this, but obviously citing some issues here with some of their growth. So we're going to wait to see if it takes down this 176. I mean, that's a pretty big level going back. I mean, it's just big from yesterday, but even going back the day before that we couldn't get through there before the tank down to 172. So NVIDIA today is going to be in trouble. That's not a nice downgrade there. The daily chart's been pretty nasty for these guys. I haven't been pumping. I say the word pumping, but I haven't really been discussing buying more NVIDIA. I'm in this name. And I thought the last time I bought, and I'll have to double check for you guys as well, because I'm buying some of these things with Canadian money. We have some CDRs, so my pricing's all messed up. But I think, hey, what's up, Maggie? 220 right here for NVIDIA is probably the last time I was buying it into some of this. So we've let it fall down. And what I've been doing since then is just kind of like spreading a little bit. Is SMH going to be NASDAQ or Amex? Let's see. It's NASDAQ. Good. Yeah, so what I've been doing here is been buying, it's NYSE American, used to be Amex. Yeah, we're old. But buying some SMH a little bit here. So I feel like that gives you the exposure to Intel, gives you the exposure to Micron. I mean, all of the semis, I really think they are the play for the future. And I want to be buying any dips in SMH. And today we get another opportunity here, down 1.5%. So I say giddy up, man. Maybe we put some more money to work here. And this is what we're talking about. Is the bottom in? We don't know. I don't know if the bottom's in or not. But this is why we dollar cost average. We've seen the market blow up the last couple days. And I mentioned we do not buy. You don't dollar cost average into up markets. That's when we celebrate our good buys, and we can hopefully have some more. So I like SMH here instead of any of those names. And in fact, like I said, we'll get to it. I'm looking short AMD, Brendan. That's new for me.
Great southbound here for the market right now, guys. Couple of things before we get to Arun here for the futures. BBIG moving around. A few people in the chat talking about BBIG. Wanted to mention that. And then also this one real quick. Rivian, there was a note, the CEO, this was out late yesterday, the CEO buying up a whole bunch of shares, but being dragged to the downside again, almost 3% once again today for Rivian.
Yeah, well, Vinco will get to for sure, but look, man,
you're
supposed to buy shares if you believe in the company. That's if a stock gets this depressed and the CEO or management doesn't think it's a value enough for them to be investing in it themselves, hey, man, I think that's a bit of a red flag if they didn't like it down here. Bet on yourself if you think it's going to hit that bottom. But first things first, let's talk about if it gets to $28. That's an obvious resistance. Ooh, I'm missing data from pre-market. 26, which was resistance before, is going to turn into potentially today's support. I'm not going to call it support till we get down there, but you can see it was a pretty significant resistance level. It then on its strongest day the last couple of weeks here, which was just last week actually, it then ran away from 26 into that 28. I think that's the range that we're dealing with on Rivian. Oddly enough, I didn't pay for shorts on Rivian today. So if I want the privilege, I'm going to have to go ahead and do that. I suppose if it gets to 28, or close to it, I can just set an alert and then go from there. But 26, that could come quicker than we expect, given the way the market is playing right now. But as far as the CEO buying shares, heck, man, anybody not, if the CEO of a firm's not buying shares down here, if the CEO of Peloton isn't buying shares down there, then
probably not.
Well, I don't, I'm just throwing names out there, man. If they're not.
Remember the Rivian CEO has something like 25 million shares or something. Is it 25 million worth or shares? Because yesterday Brendan was like, he bought 1 million more, then he already had 11 million, and then he had 15 more million, something like that.
Go for it.
But look at the numbers.
Just keep buying Bitcoin, like a sailor or whatever,
yeah.
MSTR.
But that's $25 times 20 million shares. I mean, the CEO ain't got no problems there. So I don't know if that's true or not.
Rich.
I don't know if he has that many shares or not. But I mean, if Ford has 80 million shares, then I mean, maybe the CEO and founder, I guess, of Rivian has something like that. I don't know. People say Rivian is trash, things like that. I mean, the car is what it is, or the truck, I guess. And we're just going to find out if they're able to get that Amazon deal, if they're able to get some of their supply chain figured out. I mean, they reported a whopping 25,000 expected cars or trucks on delivery this year. That's not great, obviously, but hey, it's a move in the right direction. They have that Georgia plant that's supposed to be up and operating. They got some good tax haven from those guys as well there. So maybe that does go, but I'm looking at Tesla. I mean, why not just stick with the best name, in my opinion, anyways? If electric vehicles are going to fall down, then this is what's going to happen here. $700 looks like a good holding spot. We were just, again, some of these names that were beat down on the 12th, 11th and 12th of this month, we got some great prices. Can you believe Tesla went to 680 there? So you're going to see 700 there coming through for Tesla. Now try to take out this 780. That's going to be a key spot. If you're looking at a minute chart for them, they did rally yesterday after making that low down there near 730. Wow. And then a nice move up to 760 before closing the day at highs. We like it when stocks close days at highs. But remember, the NASDAQ was up that 2.7%. So, until Elon, unfortunately, gets his stuff figured out with Twitter and people know that he's a little more focused here, then I'm wondering what happens with these Tesla shares. I'm looking at this 740 to the downside, especially if the market doesn't hold here, which it's bouncing a little bit now, but it's this little level right there, 745 that we just bounced off of. That could bring us back down in to this 730 again. So you break that level, that hits that low from yesterday. I mean, some of these levels will get broken, and then there's downside. So watch out for 744 short on Tesla, which, hey, if it's going to hit, it's probably going to hit before the market opens. But if you're long, I would use that 740-ish area. And if you were looking to go short and you're not sure about what this market wants to do, let Tesla tell you, and it's going to be a 744 break. But I mean, I feel silly saying that because, I mean, that could break any minute. So unless you're really willing to take shares in the pre-market, you might miss that opportunity.
Yeah, Piper Sandler agreeing with you today, Sean, with a negative note on Tesla as well and a price target cut. Data on Netflix out showing the largest number of cancellations in the past quarter came from users who have been subscribers for more than 3 years. So long-term subscribers also ditching Netflix, which I saw this morning. Their market cap is now 88 billion, I should say, which is amazing how much that has come down. Let's bring in Arun, as I mentioned, get a check of the overall market here. Still dealing with this kind of 40-40, 40-50 area for the S&P, Arun. So it was fun while it lasted anyways, that rally that we had.
Yeah, but the thing is, the rally was still within the bounds of the range that we kind of put in yesterday, 41.15 being the top end. So anything north of 75, we were looking for potential shorts. I was starting to look into high 60s, but anything north of 75 would have been ideal. Going into 41.15 was a favorable opportunity. And then coming on down, we were anything low 40s into the 30s was a buy opportunity. Although we kind of went to the top end, looked like a rally, we were still playing within the band. So the fact that we went from the top to the bottom of the band still is perfectly fine. Yeah, it's coming down a bit. There's some sell side activity. We're down just over 1% on the S&P here, but we're still within a buy zone. So we could find a reason to turn. We just got to wait for that reason to happen, because right now, as you can see, we've fallen a decent ways here, 20 points or so in the last little bit. So if we can actually stabilize a little bit, catch a bid, and set something up, longs are still on the table until we break 40.10. So another 30 points or so to the downside. Unless we break 40.10, I think the longs are still on the table. It's still a great opportunity. Find a bid if you can get the setup. And I think that's a critical thing here. When you're trying to play inside of the range, you do have to wait for the right setup at the right prices. Otherwise, the risk is too high for trading inside of a range. You just got to be careful about it, right? It's not a breakout trade. So the risk profile has to be a little different, but we are still within the band. So anything down here, 40s, going all the way down to 40.10 is an opportunity to buy. And then again, flip side is going to be, for me, I'm going to say 60, mid 60s going on up, but preferably you want to get into the 70s. So look for the shorts all the way up to 41.15, still within the band. Unless we break that bottom or that top, we should be playing within the range. And whenever we get that breakout, then we have a chance to extend to the upside or to the downside. So we're just going to wait for that opportunity. It will happen at some point. This market's not going to play within this band forever. So we just got to wait for that opportunity if you prefer playing breakouts. But if you're playing ranges, then I think now is the time to start working these ranges.
Back and forth we go. Thanks, Arun. Yeah, bottom end of the range being tested currently, so we'll see what happens here. Let's get into everything else you need to know this morning. That's a link to the watch list, guys. If you haven't done so yet, I'm not sure why. It's absolutely free. Make sure you grab that every day. All you need is an email address. Let's jump into Target to kick things off. It kind of feels like a redo from Walmart yesterday, because same issues. To the downside in a big way here for Target, 210 down to 162, I guess, 62.5 being tested right now for TGT.
I mean, there's really no point in looking. Oh no, we have these stupid. Oh man, this sucks. Okay, I'll have to get it on.
So you don't have to look at how bad the chart is.
I'll have to get it on e-signal here. Okay, so here it comes right now. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit more here on e-signal. As I want to look at, well, I mean, that's not even better either. I want to look at this level. Yeah, darn. It's too many bad prints here coming through. I don't know if you guys can see this, but that's 167.50 right here. So this is, some kind of levels I was looking at. That's 170 as the top coming through here for Target. But obviously it's been wrecked today. You're going to get down that 24% right now. But there's 170 coming through. 160 looks like it tried to hold there. But anyways, we don't need to look at that chart. It's been a disaster for Target, man. I mean, 50% down on their net profit. That's just nasty. The 20-minute looks bad. I mean, looking for levels here is going to be kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. I feel like, to say that it should hold, like, this is going to zoom out, and I could look back and say, well, it should hold this level here, 155. But honestly, like, the numbers are out the window now. We just saw that. Like, to say Walmart yesterday, its largest drop since 1987 in one single day. I mean, this just gave everything back, all the way back here to, I mean, this is what we're talking about, COVID levels, man. Like, you could say, oh yeah, I made, all this money. Hopefully you're able to get out of some of these names. But this is down to 160. And again, like, sure, you can use 155 as a level down here, but this is just going southbound. We saw yesterday with Walmart. I think Walmart's going to be the best example that I can possibly use today for what might happen to Target. We didn't trade Walmart yesterday until the close, and then we wound up having a decent short on for that move, right? We shorted right into here, 132. We took it all the way to the bottom. You guys saw that. We made some nice trades. We took about 70, 80 cents or so on that trade into the bottom there. I mean, maybe not that much, but it went to 131.12. And I remember we were short right into here. And look what Walmart did all day, right? So Off the open, obviously big moves down. So this is not even the open. This is the pre-market dancing around. Tested some of these pre-market highs again, right? 140. Then all of a sudden, you can see where the volume kicks in right here. That's the open. Then it just basically puked off the open. 137 all the way down to 134. Then it got going again, tested VWAP. Then it was like, see you later, good night, right? So there was one last test there at about 10:30 before, obviously, as we zoom back in, you could see retested 131, 130s at the bottom. So you had one retest there, you had it fall off the open, then a bounce, then the dramatic move. So for me, for target, I'm kind of looking for the same thing here. Try to find some levels off the open. It's been moving to the downside right now. I mean, maybe I can zoom in okay. Well, I can't because we have those. But see how it's bouncing off now, 164. You have VWAP at 166. That's not going to be super important right now. But it's hovering downside. Let's see what happens off the open. Let's see if we can take down some of those lows. And I guess the best thing to look at is up here. 161.20 is the low. So 161.26. Like to see it take that, then start to head lower, possibly get out around that 158-ish area. Maybe we get a 155 print. And then, for me, if I'm going to trade this with any decent size, I'm going to have to see sort of a reload spot, just like we did on Walmart. Let's see it pop up, touch a VWAP or touch a 50 period, something like that, and then have target fall back down in. I think it's too early to take a short off the open, but hey, if you break that 161.25, then you're downside, and I think that's the only short you take early, and then you let it build its support and resistance levels, and then we go short. But it's not a long today. I only written down short on here, and the only level I like right now is 167.50 because at least it gave it to us in the pre-market.
Yeah, I'm looking at the outer edges of those. If it pops to 165 at the open, curls there, I'll short that. If it pops to 170 at the open, I'll curl off that level. Those are the only two I care about for target. And I'm not really going to be chasing along. If it gets through 170, talk to me about a dead cat bounce because then it's breaking out. But as we said off the bat, it doesn't have a short interest. I'm searching for names, but there's so many that were down like 30, 40%, and then you see them squeeze to the upside. It's because they have 10, 20, 30% short interest, and then you get that bounce. Walmart is still down as well, and you can look at this one as a bit of a proxy as well. Like this 130 level is holding up on Walmart. If this gets taken out, it's kind of the thing. I will be watching a Walmart if I trade Target. If I'm in a short at Target and Walmart's taking out this 130 level back into the upside, it's something that'll have not some semi-alarm bells ringing. And only because we're on the topic here, I'm just watching Costco and telling you that I'm interested in that one for the long term if it starts to continue to go. But there is one other name that is not reported yet, and it is Macy's, which rightfully I think it was apologies. It might have been, I don't know if it was Steve G or someone in the chat was mentioning Macy's on the break. This is a big level break ahead of their earnings through 20 on the daily in Macy's. I want to be short Macy's. 2040 is the next level, I think, up from there. So if this pops the open, I want short 20s on Macy's today. I'd give it up at about 2040, but this is a sympathy play, man. And realistically, you can see the market already betting that it's not going to go well for Macy's. They do have a short interest, so I guess more careful with that one.
Worth a note as well on the retail space, guys. TJ Maxx also reported this morning and is actually, up. This is a daily chart. If I remove that, there we go. $60, a decent level on the daily chart. We're getting into the bottom end of the range over here, up 5.8% on TJ Maxx, but way less interest and volume right now for TJX. But keep that in mind. Let's go to big tech. Led all afternoon yesterday back to the upside. We kind of, surfed through Fed Chair Powell's comments that he was making. It's worth noting on that note, Janet Yellen currently speaking, making some comments as well. The market not really making any moves on that, but a heads up, Janet Yellen is currently speaking. But yeah, we survived Fed Chair Powell yesterday afternoon and ended the day basically right back to highs for the overall market.
Yeah, survived. I mean,
well, look what he did.
Yeah, Jerome Powell came in and was like, "Yeah, buddy, let's get this market rocking and rolling." And I mean, that's exactly what happened yesterday when we saw, oh man, these wicks. Like honestly, we gotta figure this out. Came to speak here. We did have a first move down. I think he came about 2 o'clock, right? Or maybe a little bit later than that. But here's the move. Initial move higher, then to the downside, then the Q&A started happening, and he was just saying all the right words, but he wasn't really saying much. So I don't really, know what to expect from the Fed right now, but this is the NASDAQ. It was a nice move to the upside there. People trying to figure out, and the same question I'm trying to figure out, what exactly are you looking for to change this dot plot? We already know know the next two meetings are going to be 50% or 50%, hopefully 50 points each meeting. So that's going to go up. So you're going to get a 1% move over the next two meetings. And then we have a world famous economist Elon Musk coming out and saying 9 more hikes coming. So there's that, underpinning the market as well right now. But here comes the NASDAQ. It's coming right back in. I just look at the cues here for you because our NASDAQ contract is not continuous. So you can't look back on it. But right now, 290 right here, that's, we talked about it possibly putting in a bottom there. So we're going to wait to see if that gets tested again. Obviously, retail's getting killed right now. Tech NASDAQ hasn't been bad. We've seen some nice bump ups over the last little while, but there's that 285. We've already taken down that low. That's been the low. So we need to break that, obviously, in order for there to be some trouble. But you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 days, 3 big ones. 3 big days, one red candle in the middle there. So let's see what today can bring. But obviously, if you're looking at the cues, you got to get above all this. We got to take out this 315 area and get back to this 50 period. So that's still, the 50 period is still, about 10% away from here. So we're well down on the triple Qs. That's 335. You're at 301. So you're still a ways away, man, from retracing back. But is 10% really that big? I mean, we've had a few. Yesterday was 2.5%. You're going to give some back here today. And look, I have some big names on watch here, including Microsoft, including Apple, including AMD, all on the sticky note and all looking for shorts. So I believe the NASDAQ has to give some back here. Not just I believe it, the market's believing it. Down 1.5%. You could give back everything from yesterday. So I don't know. For right now, I'm looking short on the NASDAQ, and I think that's pretty obvious until we could take out, yesterday. Like, we need to get green on the NASDAQ for me to sort of give up on any of these shorts. So right now, you're down that 1.5%, looking to get short. The only long I'm looking for is Facebook, and we can talk about that later.
Yeah, last week we had that resistance on the NASDAQ. It didn't break. We talked about this in the afternoon. We couldn't get through that top, that 12.6, and until you're through it, resistance is resistance. So it's shorts there. I'm already in NEO, so we can get to that one in a quick second. But NVIDIA, very similar, a level that we've been mentioning for the last week here, this 180 to 182. You're going to see it starting to fail already in the pre-market here. But I'm shorting into this. If it pops and tries to get back to that 180, I want to be short NVIDIA. It's got a nice roof over it. It was relatively weak yesterday. And when the market was booming, it had a structured breakout trade that I had and was like, yeah, I'm sitting in this one because inside of that 180 to 182 range, I felt like it had room to really get up into the high 90s. It just simply could not go. Like, you could have scalped it about 1 million times, but to me, it was a break that I was looking for some of these levels up here. Never happened. That showed some relative weakness. That's why I'm looking towards this for the short side of the trade. One other, in more of the semis than anything else, Micron got left out. I think it had a pretty strong day yesterday. AMAT did as well. But when I look at what just happened on Micron, it just turned at this significant 75 level. I think if that pops up, you could have a simple fade as well on Micron at about that 75. And then this has had a lot of support. I don't think we see it, but it's had a lot of support down at 66. The key one today, if it gets there, would be the 70 level. So if this one gets down to 70, I think it's pretty solid for a dip buy on Micron. So NVIDIA Micron on my radar.
Just watching Netflix, guys, back to the lows on that note. We mentioned, remember, the latest data showing the highest number of unsubscribers, so people leaving Netflix, are of 3 years or more. They've been with Netflix for 3 years or more. So not good for Netflix to start things off. Let's talk AMC. As we mentioned, making another investment. Interesting move late in the day yesterday. It was actually right into the close, and then even after the close yesterday, we saw it continue up to 13.25, 13.40 for AMC, back to the downside with the overall market, but NCMI getting bought up by AMC.
Well, I think the shot for a trade might have come and gone on AMC. Like, it would have been really early in the pre-market. I suppose, like, fading off of where it got to in the aftermarket, like 13.40. It's already starting to pull back on the news. Maybe there's support at $12. Yeah, like, I think, look, the synergy actually makes sense more than them investing in a gold miner that hasn't produced anything. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a positive catalyst. Might do a little more for that NCMI stock. We'll see today. But this is now falling just with the market here, and it just broke that 13 number. So you're already seeing it start to pull back in. If it tries to rally, and I think has trouble getting through 13, you could maybe play a fade off that level, but it's at least, I'd say, 70 cents to $1 from where I would be thinking about buying the dip, if not even a full dollar from where I would think about buying that dip. And just a couple of updates here. Genius Brands did try to make that run off of $1. I mentioned that psychological level 2. It's now come back as low as 92, still holding on to 20% of the position. When it reverses off $1, sometimes you do get that move back into 80, 85 cents, but it's the first day here. So, and it is a decent catalyst, and it's a pretty strong run. So I would expect it might have some legs off the open and might try to retest those highs. If it makes another fail at the top, I'd probably reload not as many shares. I think the second time up, I wouldn't be as aggressive with it. I don't think you want to do that, because if it gets there again, it could easily break, and there's 10 to 15% upside from this high of the day till the next level.
Yeah, so a little bit of talk there. I mean, thanks to Internet Enforcers. Yeah, we did mention about AMC and not trying to get long and waiting for 1250. I drew all the lines. Whoops, I drew all the lines earlier. Unfortunately, they have disappeared. But, you know, I'd like this 1150 as a bottom. We talked about that here for AMC. I don't think we shouldn't test that. But right now it is fading in. And like I said, I just didn't get the feel that this was going to be a big day for AMC. But there's news here. So let's just let it develop a level. I still like this 1250 for a long, so if you're taking it right now at 1260, you might as well give it a little bit of room. The only thing is, off the open, I'm just interested to see if we do come back in. I think at 12 long, we could sit there. I don't know if you're going to get that, but like I mentioned, I want to be on AMC today, and I want to trade this name, so I don't have any problems with it. I just think that I wanted to get down to this 1250, which we're getting close to. Off the open, I'm a little more interested in some of these bigger names, and AMC, you know, and if you look at AMC here, it always gives you an opportunity to get in, man. I mean, the moves aren't necessarily right off the open. I mean, yesterday, this is what I'm talking about. A dip down here yesterday off the open to like 1180, then a move up to 1250. And you see, like, then once you got that 1250 level, then it gave you an opportunity to say, hey, if I wanted to short this thing, you've got levels that it bounced off 2 or 3 times here to the downside. And the same thing with the long. You know, this 1190 here came into play off of the day's high the day before. So, you know, it gave you some levels off the open to long into. So here goes. When it comes back in and fades out into this 1190, you already have this wick bottom that coincides with the day before's high. So this is giving you that trade. This is what I'm looking for. Give me a trade. Either you want to go short or you want to go long. It gave you both opportunities, of which yesterday the long was huge, because if you took this down here at 1190 or $12 against 1180, you would have given yourself 20 cents worth of room to have. I mean, ultimately I don't hold it to 13, so that doesn't matter, but that's about a $1.20 upside with 20% downside. So you're at 5-to-1 risk to reward there. And even if you just go 1-to-1, you get 20 cents in like 5 minutes off that move. So there it is. That's what I'm looking for on AMC. Let's see if we can hold our cards a little close to our chest today on that name, and just wait for something to happen. A quick update here, as we only now have 8 minutes to go. There's Walmart short. I know Baxter was looking to get Walmart short. I don't know. Yeah, what's up, Internet Enforcers? I saved you $3,000. Well, that's great. Send it to @Sean No, just joking. But there it is. Walmart, Target, DD, a couple names on here, but there's the two big guys that we're looking at right now. Walmart and Target, both trying to, you know, hit lows now off that. Ford continues to get sold. I like $13 on Ford to come through. Citigroup, you can defend that $50 area as well if that comes in. And then I really like that idea that I know you shutted someone out in the chat, but I really like that Macy's idea. Unfortunately,
it's already,
it's still going to the downside there. And then just to make sure, well, that was a sell on Macy's. It makes sense if it was. Yeah, there it is right there. So we do have a Macy's sell. Look, it's 100,000 shares. I mean, it's done 1 million shares so far. These numbers aren't going to influence. I don't know, what is ACRE? Anyways, but that's there as a sell. 450,000 shares coming back in. But there it is right there. So there's some names definitely to look at today. And Walmart and Target definitely sort of, you know, the names that are the key. We do have 2 minutes before NASDAQ comes in, but we really haven't seen any market on open big time orders on any of the big names for NASDAQ. Looking for a SoFi, something like that, to come into play here today for NASDAQ imbalances.
Amazing move for Walmart. Back on the board, back on the list again this morning. Tesla as well, guys. Piper Sandler with the price target cut today on Tesla. We talked about both of those. More importantly, Veru just took out 16 again, up 4% here. I just double checked. This is 17.5 from last week, but whole bunch of volume just came in once again back to the upside for VERU.
You know, the best part about that was that you said, more importantly, completely deadpan. So more importantly than Tesla's downgrade, Veru making power moves again. And everyone in the chat, of course, interested in Veru because it's moving. But 17 still remains a level. Like it did break there once and it got to 17.5. So yes, there's some room above that price. Over away from the daily here. This is what it just did just now. It popped into what was pre-market lower highs at 1650. I mean, on volume, it's the pre-market high 1650. There is a seller right now at 1625. But I think the fade is up here. It's interesting because when you get that late, it's like, okay, consolidation, the break happens after market, and then you fade that break. Most of the times that I see that ends up being a top, and then you end up seeing a chance at that previous support level. Whether or not that's going to be true of Veru today, you actually, like you saw AMC do this and then break the low. Veru similar, although it's breaking to the upside. I'm not touching this short till it gets to 17, or at least even thinking about it until it gets to that significant level. If it breaks that, let's pray for 20. And you know what? 25 would be the ultimate. Like I would love to see that thing at 25 because it's like a nice round number to dig into, guys. But you know, I'm not touching this one until after the open. Too strong. Like you already saw the same setup on AMC that's come down. This one powering to the upside. As far as Tesla goes, I like the Tesla short today. I just don't know if it's going to give the opportunity because either it's going to give it to me at 760 at those highs that I was shorting in the afternoon, all afternoon, seems a little bit unlikely, and I don't like breakdown trades. So I might not be able to get to Tesla today, but I got NIO instead. That one's starting to work.
I have this bay window over top of my garage that I'm trying to get painted. It's like a 15. The thing is, you need it's pretty high up. You need a decent ladder there. And it's only like 15 feet maybe high by like 8 feet wide, and it's not even a big, huge space. Like I got a quote for that, $2,500 plus tax.
Oh,
so it's
come
like
on, son.
$2,800. I think it's like 2 hours worth of work. But anyways, just to talk about, look, people's got to get paid. I thought it would be expensive, but I was just saying to the wife for that, and she's like, I'll paint it for that. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll let her. But that's a.
I got a good ladder.
That's what I was gonna say. She's also afraid of heights, so I think you need at least a 30-foot ladder. Okay, so just AMD's breaking a hundy right now. So we wanted the short in AMD. I wanted it a little bit higher than this. So we may not be in anything right off the open here as AMD trying to take down 100. We had a nice move up there yesterday. It's the number one name here on my sticky note today is going to be AMD. I own a ladder. I mean, I can do it myself. I just wanted to see what that was all about. And I mean, painting, it's the front of my house, so I didn't want to screw it up. No, Baxter's not doing it. Okay, so here's AMD.
That's why you have
NVIDIA.
Kids.
Yeah, exactly. I have kids who can take care of me as well. AMD with NVIDIA downgrade, look to short it into 103. Yesterday's long was good, but it's going to might give some back today. Might, yeah. Funny thing. It's definitely giving some back. We wrote this sticky note here, guys, before this NASDAQ. Before this happened. This was, this move really started at 8:30 when we went on the air. The NASDAQ was actually coming back in, and so was AMD at that time. We were starting to make a little bit of a move back in here into 1-to-1. So we thought we could get a short. I'm still sitting here on this name. So, hey, AMD, I'm still trying to get a short near 102. We're still trying to get Facebook longs. If that dips down to 196, that probably doesn't happen. That's only 198, but 196 as well. And then Mr. Softy, we're on the offer right now as well. Upside to get some shorts if we can get to this 265, 266 area. But for right now, all my orders seem to be outside. I'm trying to pick up longs and shorts today. I know I self-declared bull, but honestly, I've been short. The shorts have been really printing the last couple days. We've had some great longs and some great shorts. Trade price action, man. I'm only a bull because I'm just always long. I mean, I have an investment account, and that's really where my focus is. So, but here we go. Market trying to pull back again now. NASDAQ in trouble here, Brendan. You've got the small cap of the day on the screen.
I mean, there's a couple. AgriForce, AGRI, former runner, if you go to the daily chart, popped up this morning on volume kind of late. I didn't really find anything on this as far as why, but Above us, 350, 375 as far as resistance is concerned is the middle of that range on the daily chart. It's already come back significantly, sitting at 3 right now, but might give you a move back to the upside for AGRI. Also, I just noticed 330 subscribers, guys, away from 300,000. So that's big. Let's get that done today as well. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit subscribe. 300 only, guys.
That isn't just big, it's big. Well, I only said that because BBIG was literally in front of my screen. I'm like, yeah, why not? But Vinco Ventures, yes, we got a lot of questions about this one, and I don't want to ignore it because we did get a super chat for it. Look, the Tide deal sort of closed here. $3 to about $3.50 is a very choppy range. It's been here in the past, and I think there's a lot of slop that it's going to have to get through. Once it gets above that price, this is what I'm sort of talking about. Very, very choppy here. So if it gets another break, I think there's going to be a lot of sellers. I wouldn't touch it short until it gets to 350. I think the longs right now have broken the resistance level, and I don't want to touch it diddling in the middle. And 290 to 310 is absolutely diddling in the middle in this stock. So I'm going to stay away from it. Genius Brands is absolutely falling like a rock. It's already, wow, only 15 seconds. Miss V is on the bell. It is hump day. And hopefully, we'll see what happens. It feels like a short day. I'm only really looking at a lot of shorts, but you never really know. Miss V in 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it.
Okay, so I've just decided to put another bid here, or one bid anyways, on Facebook. We have some lower bids here for Facebook, but I'm going to wait to see about that 198.50. Will we test 199 or not one more time here on FB as the market's going to the downside, and you can see Facebook's trying to go back up to the upside. Did NVIDIA just make a move there?
NVIDIA already dropped to 176 there. So like this is one of those where you're going to have to be patient off the open because, yeah, there's a slide down. I got to cancel that order. If it pops $5 in seconds, I don't want that fill. So the market really starting to come, well, it's still trying to hold to the downside. Target is making a power move to the upside. It's still on the New York Neal. It just got to 164.50. Sorry, 165 on the offer now. So I'm looking for this curl. I can't do anything about the chart because of the scaling, but 165 is looking to try and hold up here. If it doesn't curl here, 170 is the next level to the upside on target. I just got, wow, Genius Brands is now at 88 cents, so that's continuing to work to the downside, but my eyeballs are on this 165 target. If it fails from here, I want to try to jump into the short on this pop. But it's looking, the only thing looking strong right now is oddly Target.
Yeah, I mean, it's so beat down, but I mean, that name probably, like I said, this is why we're not trading Target, man. We're waiting for something to happen on that stock and then give us the idea of a level there for TGT. Okay, Microsoft right here. This is a name that we wanted to get short. There's this level right here of 263. So this could be something. But again, the market right now, just as expected, very wonky off the open. A nice move downside, and now it's trying to find that bottom. So, you know, shorting here, risky, but we do have 263 for Softy. We've noticed that level a couple times. If you take it back on a minute chart, this minute chart's not going to be great, but we do have 263 right there on it. New position, just took it in. Target, oh, actually, we got the target short at 166.90, so that just came in right there. We were waiting for 167.50 to blow that stock outside of the water, but there we go. Nicely done right now. A good trade here, $1 plus in the money for Target. We waited for our level. It's sticky note nation time right there, so we'll go, yeah, as that's giving us $1 right here. Let's take a piece out and see if we can hold Target now in the money at $1.20, $1.50. And
here comes another blast from the past. Every single day, pretty much. Affirm at this same 25.50 level. It's been all week, or at least last week as well. So I want to be shorting into this until it breaks. I'm short in front of this 25.50 on Affirm. Nothing new there. Going to go to Tesla quickly here, guys, because it did break downside. Not much of a move, but it did wick down to 740 and is now trying to recover. So you have a wick bottom in Tesla. If this is going to give it some strength to maybe zoom back up here and retest those 760s, that is the level I liked. I am in NEO already to the short side of the trade. I got some out there pre-market at about 6:30. It's trying to curl off its high of the day. Looking at time for a bit of a reload here, but I don't want NEO to break yesterday's high at 1670. If that happens, I am all out of that one.
All right, so we got another short here at Target. So now all of a sudden, I'm really interested in Target after not being that interested at all. All right, so, you know, big time movements happening right now. Down to 65. We do have a decent short on for this name, TGT. We also got into AMC long. But this Target is like really taking up a lot of my time here because we're into a bigger position than we thought because we got the double reload there on that move. So we talked about where we wanted that up to 168. Today, 167.50. Again, on the sticky note, so we're short 167.20. Let's see if that can print. Oh, whoops, I just closed it. Okay, AMC right now. There it is. A nice little move for AMC, man. As we have this name on us as well, we'll take a piece out here at 65 if we can get it. Just as we stated, man, we are long 1257. I don't have my minute chart up, but we're long 1257. We talked about we wanted that down there. So, hey, we got that one long right now. So that's going to be a good trade as I look to open up another chart. Here goes the market. It's rally central as the NASDAQ trying to take out some levels. So we got to watch out for Microsoft and so on and so forth. But I'm in this target trade. That's my big one. Nice little win here. Let's get another piece out of AMC here, up to 71 if we can do that. That's still Roblox chart. Let's go over to AMC again if we can. There it is right there. There's that pickup on the bottom, and there's a couple out. So let's see if AMC flies to 13. Otherwise, we have our trade. Really, it's just a big win for me on TGT right here.
Yeah, this market did try to bounce her. I got stopped on a firm. A firm of all things just broke the high. Came right back to Tesla. I thought it was going to move with the market there and get through 750. It does not. So you're still seeing a lot of weakness over there in Tesla, relative weakness, I should say. Genius Brands has now died. It's now down at 84 cents. I'll probably be all out if this thing gets to 75 cents, but $1 back to 75, not too bad. Tesla is definitely on the mind. NVIDIA, which was absolutely dying there through 175, is actually catching a bid. So NVIDIA is starting to come back up. These wicks are crazy. Like, it's got to wick up to 178.5. I mean, I was watching it. I didn't even think it got up there, but yeah, it looks like it did spike up there. I'm looking for more closer to that 180 for a fade. So I guess it's patience.
Jesus.
I don't want to be diddling in the middle in a lot of these names, and that's exactly what they're doing at this open.
Oh, man. What
Macy's is at 8.
Yeah, what a trade rate here, guys, on Target, man. We talked about getting these shorts in, and now we're $3 in the money on this Target trade. So you want to talk about a doozy right here to start the day. We'll go with a little bang to start off your morning action. Nice move there to the downside. We're going to go 2 for 2 and big ones, too, because AMC right now up to 75. AMC just ticked 80s. Let's see if we can get up to like 13, 12.90, something like that. I was waiting down here at 164 flat to get out of another, like, more of this trade. We're still in half of this. So this is like big for me. Like, we don't normally hold half. So here we come to the downside right now for Target. I am like on my trigger fingers right now, trying to take this out. There it is. Yes, sir. 164 right now. Wow, we roll the dice with Target today, and down goes Target. We're already, I mean, again, let's not talk about our net. Let's go over to Brendan.
Redbox, guys, big move late in the day yesterday. RDBX, another one that's been on the move lately, just took out the high from yesterday. Big volume spike up to, 420. Also, Rivian testing yesterday's high right now, trying to rally as well for Rivian.
Veru did make another attempt at that 1650, so forget about 17 at least for now. It looks like it's rejecting that price pretty hard. I want to play off 1650 next. Tesla, it just failed at 750. Oh, goodness. I want to go to Macy's in a quick second, but I got to go to NIO first. NIO tried to get through the high. I'm watching both NIO and Tesla exactly the same time flip. It just made a hard reversal. It got to yesterday's high at about 1870 and then slammed back down to below 1850. In almost one shot. So this is what the whipsaw action that we're seeing. I got more shares in. I'm looking for a 16 bottom on this bad boy as the market. Yeah, it's starting to level back off again. There was a sign that maybe it was going to come to the upside, but we're seeing that turn around. This is the Macy's chart, by the way. Now down to $18.99, $19. Looks like it's an absolute bloodbath over there in Macy's. And for those of you that are still watching Vinco Ventures, it's doing absolutely nothing. So, the small cap to watch, it feels like it's going to be Veru. It feels like it's going to be Genius Brands, although Veru looking at least a little bit weak to start this open, guys. And if you're watching NVIDIA, not much of a pop. I think you want to be very, very patient because if futures are on that low, still stick to your levels. I'm waiting for NVIDIA. I want 180s. I'm not going to chase it too far down.
Guys, it's 940 right now. $5 in the money. $5 in the money on Target, And not only that, AMC 50 cents in the money, as AMC right now trying to take down 13. So, I mean, this has just been a ridiculous move to the downside here for TGT. Not ridiculous. I mean, this is exactly what we called. So, I don't know. We're going to wait to see if we take down 161 right now to the down. Wow, big time now. 550 now in the money on target to the downside right now. I'm hoping, what is Walmart doing? Because Baxter was going to be shorting Walmart here today. That's to the downside as well. So hopefully he's cashing in. But $6 downside right now. $6 breaking. What's up, Ms. V? You like Target? Yeah? Okay. Well, short it. Good. She likes to short. There goes Target to the down. Okay, we got to take another piece out right now, man. We're at that 161. Give me that 161.30 if we can. We just put a bid there. Should have maybe marketed it, some of those out. But now we'll sit and see if we can get that right now. $6 in the money on TGT. There it is. So there it goes again. Down the flush, the toilet goes Target, man. We always wish we had our whole position on. Now we're down to 20%. Tick, 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 boom. Target to the downside. AMC also, man, out there. Maybe we should take another piece out at 13 as it's resisting that. But there's a nice move for that. We'll probably get another piece out and then be able to hold. So we still got some skin in this game, guys. Nice moves happening today as Target looking to break down through 161, man. What up, Ice Cube? Today, another good day.
We talked about Doximity. There was a couple of people in the chat talked about Doximity. This was on our watch list, another earnings miss, and not a very good one for them, but very, very thinly traded. I wanted to wait till the open to actually trade this. 30 was a level. It broke 30. You can see the wick top. You're going to see the consolidation. So I'm in the short on Doximity for the first time today. The market is now really starting to roll over. By really, we're at 40.25, which was that key level on the ES. So, yeah, it just feels like another hold on to your shorts type of day here, guys. So I'm in 3 of them right now. NVIDIA never came in. It got to 179. Not quite far enough there. Micron didn't come in as well, but it got pretty close to this 74 area. We have not broken lows just yet, so you're still inside the range for a lot. Tesla is still inside of its range. Microsoft is still, Microsoft did finally break the range. So it's down to like 262. I mean, I can go back over to Genius Brands at some point, but when a stock's already died, I don't feel like there's a need to beat back up on it. Veru is the only one that I think we might try to get back into on any kind of a pop. And that is also dying to the downside. NIO just broke support. Tesla's down at 740. Hold on to your shorts, ladies and gentlemen.
My main man Sharif over here, loving the Target trade. I hope a lot of you guys are loving it as well as it goes to the downside. And the thing about it is, man, I gave you, I should say, that level right there all morning, man, 167.50. Remember, I was zooming in. I couldn't figure out the chart, what was going on with it. Look at that, 167.50. Here's the sticky note right here today, 167.50 on target. It's our number one name. Short only 167.50. Where are we short? 167.40. So there it is. It actually went even higher. We could have even got 168 on that move, but there it is right now. Taking it down, bro. $7 now in the money for this name as it's taking down 160, man. Let's just hold this all day. Why not at this point? We've already cashed in. We only have 20% left, but it's better than 10%. So there it is right there. AMC also. I've just canceled all my other trades because honestly, we're already on one right now, and this has been a good one. So AMC, another out. We'll wait to see what happens with that. We were looking to pick up some Facebook longs, but I just canceled my 198 bid. That didn't come in anyways. Look at the NASDAQ tanking, and Facebook wants to go up. Very, very interesting. Can Target become a $10 winner for us, Brendo?
No, look at Costco as well, guys. Wow, almost 9% right now for Costco to the downside. They didn't even report. Back to 445. Huge levels here tested on Costco.
I mean, look, it's dragging everything down. Like we talked about this, like Macy's was one example, but Costco was sort of another one there. I'm going to start taking some profit on NIO here because it has been resisting the low of the day. And on NIO, 20 to 25 cents on a $16 stock is actually pretty good. So we do need to be trimming. If it breaks a low, the next bids will be a little bit closer to this, $16 area. But we mentioned this across the board with some of these retailers that, yeah, you can get pretty ugly. And I'm not going to go to the higher time frame on Costco. There's going to be a chance to be able to do that later. But yeah, here's the drop. The NASDAQ is now broken through, the ES, has now broken through that 40.25. This was the bottom yesterday in the afternoon, in the morning, and then the afternoon lows. Those have been taken out pretty heavily, and now we're starting to go into free fall state, guys. So if you don't think it can fall further, I don't know what we're necessarily looking at. I think Neo's going to have some room down to this 1560 area, so I want to hold on to these three. The only three I got. We got into that. It's not. I want to say DocuSign, but it's not. It's Doximity. Of course, Genius Brands now. Genius Brands now almost 20% to the downside. I think 25% is a reasonable pullback for Genius Brands. And then Neo, I think he can give back the entire afternoon from yesterday, especially what this market is doing.
All right, let's start a baby short here on AMD. I mean, Target's starting to dance around that 160 level. It just was $8 in the money there. But we're going to wait to see here about, these are real levels down there, 99.50 for AMD. We initially wanted the short here, and I still think the shorts could be good on this name. But I mean, again, not until we get, actually, we kind of almost got there to that 102 level that we really did like. So, all right, you know what? I'm debating getting another piece out here. First of all, we're long on AMD, so that's just what's up to that one. Alert on that. Hopefully we can get some money in, but that's a long right now for AMD. I don't care about size on the level 2. That doesn't matter. 101 there, looking to take that out. So right now we're in the money 30 cents on this AMD long, but we're kind of used to that. So here it comes to the upside. We might take a piece out at 101 if it gets up there, but that's just going to be AMD right now. I want to get longer if we can come down to this 100 right now on this name. So we're going to watch out for AMD to come back in a little bit. There it is, man. There goes Target. Target right now at day's low, taking down 159. $9 in the money for Target here. Oops, it's going down one more time. Can we get to 30% on Target? I know Sharif is liking this back there, but what's up, Brendan?
A halt here, guys. OTRA, SPAC, random SPAC halting to the upside. This thing made a move aftermarket yesterday. Just went from $9 up to $12.50 for OTRA.
My charts just crashed.
Oh, did they? Okay. All right, so I'll take this over right now. AMD, there it goes, man. We have this. We did it again on this long. That's AMD. There it is right here. Where did it just go to? 101.80. So I think we'll put an offer there to take this out. Again, the market right now is starting to climb upside. So there we go. We'll ring the register. We're 3 for 3 right now today with monsters on. We've made more money today than we did yesterday, and it's 9:45. So there it goes. Let's go. There's 101. Scratch these shorts, man. Cancel. I'm not going short AMD. That's off the table right now. I don't like that trade anymore. AMD is way too strong to the upside. Market down 1.9%. AMD better than that, so we like the long. Relative strength here is key for me. Just to go. AMC back up to day's high. Let's go on that one. That's a chicken dinner winner right there. That was for lunch yesterday. I don't even remember what we had for dinner. We had different kind of skewers. So we had a tofu skewer, a pork one, and a beef skewer last night. That was fun to cook up there on the Barbie. There goes AMD, $1 in the money for AMD, 60 cents in the money for AMC, and a measly $8 right now in the money for TGT. But Target's bouncing, guys. So it's not really bouncing, but it's just hovering around these levels. And I don't know what it wants to do at that 159 flat. So we may take a piece out for that 850, but I'd like to see it test 139 one more time to the downside. The only area of concern for me to get something out would be this 161.20 again. So that could be a level if it does pump up. We got to get our orders ready to get locked and loaded on that one. But today is just a great day for the short. I know I'm always bullish, but hey, you got to be bullish on some days. We picked on AMD, $1.20 in the money, and AMC, a big trade. So there it is right there. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'll get to that Octa in just a quick second. Thanks, Sean. I just got all my charts loaded back up, so a bit of a crash. Watch out for the stock. It's already made some power moves. And if you watch where it is right now, this 1260, if it were to open, yesterday's high actually coincides with the next 10% to the upside. So if it was to try to take a second halt on a flat reopen, you're looking at an obvious resistance level. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pay for some shorts there. But we were just mentioning taking some profits out. Thankfully, we had just done it as the market turned on NIO in front of that 16. So we rang the register there. But this is not that big of a pop back up. We're still holding inside of the short trade. I don't think this is done just yet. In terms of getting back into some of the names, or getting into some of the names that we wanted on any kind of a pop, NVIDIA is now coming back into 178. So the semis are relatively strong on this jam. Like you just saw Neo trying to get back to the highs. Tesla's still below 750, whereas NVIDIA is still testing the opening range at 179. It's 180 to 182. that was a target short for me. Micron, a very similar name that we are looking at as well. And if you're back into Veru land, this, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cancel my order. Like, I did want to short the pops in Veru. It's now below 15 bucks, so it's 10% away from the level you want to short. Rule for me on small caps is you never want to be sitting with an order over 10% away. That's a recipe for disaster, Brendo.
Just looking at Rivian here, guys. Crazy volume right now. Back to the upside again today. Relative volume very high on Rivian. No significant reason other than that CEO note, but back to day highs after a big sell-off back to 27.
All right, I'm not in love with Rivian short. I've been really, the stock's been good to us. It's just having hard times reading exactly what Rivian's trying to do right now. I'm not having any hard times with AMD because that's up now $1.50 in the money for that trade right now. So that's been pretty good. But I do have a problem, and I'm just going to average in one more time against this 198.50 here for Facebook. So that's come back in. We just took a 199.20 bid, so we don't have a good price right now. This one, we're not, like I said, we're here to trade. It can lose at some points. Doesn't look like, maybe not now again. But now our average price on Facebook, 199.10. Maybe it's not as strong as I thought. Did it crash again? Okay, but right now, just watching out for Facebook, guys. Just to give you a note here, it's going to crash through 198.50. When and if it does, I'm going to be gone on this one, and then we will reevaluate said trade. So I like Facebook long right now, but we have that 190. There it comes right now. We have that 198.50. If the NASDAQ doesn't want to go, then there's no point in holding on to any longs, to be honest with you. So here it comes right now. Facebook coming back in. We will give back a little bit here, but hey, there it is. One more move down. There it goes. Now we're broke. Now we're out. So we will flush ourselves down the toilet for that one. But we didn't, again, I'll tell you when there's coming up to levels that I'm absolutely in love with. This is not really one of them right now for Facebook. We wanted that 196, and of course I get out. Now it looks like it wants to make a new bottom there, but it's not a level I love, but I will test it maybe just one more time as it looks like it wanted to regroup there off that level. So we'll give it a little bit more work on that. We'll get back in, but there it goes, right back down in. So you know what? I might just hold this until we get to that 196 because, again, it's not a huge position. We like 196. I'll have to find it for you. It must be on the 20-minute. But you can see what's working and what's not, man. We did get out of one more. So now we only have 10% left of our target. We took that out at 159.50. 159 just held. So we took a piece out there. And then AMD continues to be strong. That just made a nice little high move up here to 102. So, off of that, that's a good one. So we could probably get out of this here. 102 if we can get it. That's a good level for us here on AMD. Hey, it's a $2 winner. We should probably take that as we battle with Facebook.
This OTRA is open back up. I'll get to my charts in a quick second here, but I do have my 3-minute up for you guys, so that is actually working. It opened below that high, so it obviously didn't break back out. It flushed immediately down to 11.20, and then a bit of an iceberg is stepped in here at $12. It's been a refresher. Like it's broken 12 a few times, and then it kind of gets dumped right back in. So I did start a position here at 12 even, 97s to be particular. I want to see it try to curl off that high of the day. If it gets through the tops, definitely want to get out of that one. I missed a reload as I was trying to get my charts back up on NIO, not Tesla, but Tesla's still holding the low. So that 760 still could come into play for Tesla. Best I'll be able to do for you guys, because I don't want to flip the charts here, is Tesla still trying to get to that 750 level. It is not breaking out of these lows. And that's sort of the key. It's still in the middle of the range. And anything that's diddling in the middle, I'm trying to stay away from. I do not want to get caught on anything that's away from the levels that we like. So I just got onto this again off of the highs. I want to make sure my stop is in place on OTRA. If it takes out the top, 10% from here is the next level on the daily chart. 15-minute will show you as well. If I can zoom out, I can probably show you in the aftermarket. If it gets through here, it could halt into this level. That's why it's like this or bust. And if it tries to go and make a reversal off of 1375, I would try that one again as well. I'm going to tempt fate here by actually flipping in real time. I'm not done with Genius Brands, but I don't have any more bids down here. At this point, I'm kind of thinking it has a chance to give it all back, which doesn't usually happen, but as weak as it seems, that one might be into play, guys. So Genius Brands still falling. I'm just sort of managing the position here, but OTRA is certainly the one that has my attention as that halt starting to reverse back in, guys.
All right, so we should have held, right? We should have held AMD. We were long. Maybe Prad's going to throw a slipper at me, but we should have held that 100 long. It's up to 102.25 right now. We got out at 101.80. So, I mean, $1.70 is good. We'll take it, right? But not good enough because it's still Rip City here to the north side. I said that we would fade AMD because of NVIDIA, but AMD doesn't matter what NVIDIA is doing, it seems like anyways. We'll see. I don't even know. Maybe NVIDIA is going up. But NVIDIA did have that.
In the middle.
It's in the middle. So, okay. So completely opposite, man. This AMD is definitely to the long side. We just tweeted that out. Thanks for all that as well. AMC right now, let's go. It's at the high of the day one more time up here at 1330. This is a trade that we could probably take off now. We've tested it. It's hit this high a couple times here at 1330. So foolish, man. Look at this bottom pick we have. The very bottom. And it's not even like this was a pick. We mentioned it that we wanted, and shout out to Internet Enforcers. Hopefully, I know I saved you $6,000 or whatever you said. Hopefully, I gave it right back to you right there, and maybe that's a 12 grand swing because hopefully you put that in down here at 1250 where we're talking about, because then you'd have 80 cents now in the money on that name. And look at Facebook starting to go again. Sure, we got out, but we reloaded. We're long at 198.75 right now. We just took that out at 199.50, so hopefully that can get to new highs here. I'd take it out, man. If we got to $200.50, we'll take $2 on that move, please, if it can go. And other than that, man, hey, look, we screwed up one Facebook trade, not the second one. Let's see if we can get this upside and then just get flat on our Facebook.
Yeah, let's do this one. That OTRA, we always love halts, and you can, in addition to Brennan bringing you all that information in real time, which is about as good as it gets, big save for us, by the way. You can also look at that halt page. And once something halts, you got 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes to go figure out your plan of action. That's why I love that setup, because there's plenty of time. It does make the fade off that reopen price. It does not break the halt. I'll adjust that stop order. I've taken some more shares out in front of VWAP. Now 40% left. I'm looking $10.50, and then I'm looking $10. And if you can't figure out why on a SPAC, you want to get it all out in front of $10, because usually that's support on a SPAC. I'm not saying it will be for this one or post-SPAC or whatever it might be, but it usually is. Tesla still diddling in the middle, and the market has decided that it's coming to the downside, breaking levels to the downside, and Tesla, for whatever reason, has decided it doesn't want to make moves. We talked about NVIDIA being a potential short. It's still got some relative strength here, and I'm seeing it get up to that 180, but it's not in the pocket yet. On the higher time frame, like it is 180 to 182. That is the target range. Like I want to be getting in at the price that we want to. Otherwise, let's just work with what is working. Work with what is working. One of those is NEO. I did just get a reload on NIO. So as long as it stays below yesterday's high, I want to keep reloading this short. And if the market completely falls apart, I think we do get that 1550. But I was just able to get the reload in there. And yeah, again, just sort of stick to the levels, stick to what is working for you guys. That's the easiest way to stay green. I was going to check back in on Viru, but yeah, you can pretty much forget about that. Macy's, which was the other retail name that we're looking at, it just made a hard turn, and it's close to that $20 mark again. Sometimes the market gives you a second chance. It doesn't mean it's going to work shorting this, but I did want to short in front of 20, and I did not get it in the pre-market. And keep in mind, Macy's does have that short interest, so if it gets back above the $20 mark, I probably will have to give it up. But I'm going to take my shot here at Macy's finally. Brendo?
2 days in a row here, guys. Upstart with a pretty good start to the day. UPST up 5.3, up 5.3%, right back to $50 for Upstart.
50 for Upstart. Wow.
Did you say $50?
I think that's what he said. Yeah. Nice little move there for Upstart. Okay. Just so you guys know, AMC came back. Obviously, we gave up that 20 cents. I mean, 1330 was the high there. We were talking about it at that level, trying to get it to break. But again, once it broke this little level there, the pre-market high of 1311, we got out. So we're now out of AMC. It's a good one, man. We'll stack up some cash for it. So we're pretty happy with that AMC trade, that's for sure. But we are now out of AMC. And then just a quick update on what we're doing here with Target. $7 in the money. It's great. But we're going to get out if it breaks 162, I thought I put in there. Yeah, 162 there on AMC. So if that does come into play and break lower, that's what we're looking for there. 161.50 is actually where the 50 period is. So maybe I got to reassess that. But anyways, I was looking at 162 right there. I never want to give up more than I have to. So we may use that bottom, which is the pre-market bottom of 161.50. I think I was just giving it a little more love to the upside just in case it touches 161.50, it comes back down. So I'm going to stay with that. I'm going to stay with a 162 out if Target does move back to the upside. I mean, you can hold something all day, which I plan on doing a little bit anyways. Out way too early on this as it just came in. We were short 167.50, 166 out, 165.50. That's a 164. That's a 164 flat. That's a 163 flat. And the story goes on and on and on. All right, new position right now. Facebook looks like it's going to take down 198. We'll get out of some, but I don't want to get out of everything. Here it comes, man. The market's taking out lows, and there goes Facebook back down in. So, yeah, this long, I like Facebook long, man. It's been relatively strong, but today it's actually weaker than the market. So stay, we've got to focus on that one, Sean, man. Like, you should have noticed that. Maybe this is not the great long. Let's get some out here on Facebook.
Christopher Holcomb here. I don't think we didn't clown Tony for buying Upstart. As a matter of fact, I think it was Upstart and Unity at $30, and one of them the next day actually tried that level twice.
It was Unity, said at 30, yeah.
But either one, Upstart now at $50. And by the way, we have to pay for shorts on Upstart, which I didn't think we normally had to. See, this is my daily chart, not giving much help. But if you go back to the day that it got crushed on earnings, in the aftermarket, 50 was the consolidation level, and then it flushed the next day. So 50 ain't, it's not just a nice, pretty round number. And we just had a wick off top at 50. That's a setup that if obviously that's a setup that I trade, so it's a setup I'm not going to try to get into in front of that now 50 level. Neo, the rinse and repeat, got back to our first out. Hasn't really gotten to that secondary bottom in front of 16 even, and is now trying to catch a bid. So at this point, you do have a wick off bottom on NIO through 16.25. That's 100%. If this market catches a bid, now you have reasons for this to potentially break out. So this is a condition under which I'm not going to be reloading on NIO here. I just can't do it. It's worked a couple of times, but no need to get crazy. When it's put a wick off bottom, I can hold on to the shares that we have left and see if it falls further, but not going to go too crazy on NIO. Upstart, wowzers. It just finally came in 49.5. If it can consolidate longer, I might take some more shares, but when your stop is at the high of the day, this stock is either falling $5 or it's breaking the top and going, quite frankly, I don't know where, because Upstart's got, the gap fill in Upstart from $50, it's not even worth putting up on the chart. It's like $20.
I was going to say, try to make calls, when a stock is...
but look, the daily chart's even, the 15, look at the gap.
Yeah. The same target. All these stocks.
If it breaks out from here, forget about it.
Yeah, these stocks are disaster. Okay, I was going to talk about Roblox as another stock that's moving up a little bit there. We have Unity, we have Upstart, we have some of these ARC names moving today. But we'll talk about that when we get back from Brendan over there at the big board with Happening Now. Yeah, that's right. Let's go.
10 o'clock already, guys. Let's go. Red board again today. We'll point out the NASDAQ right out of the gate here. The 100 and the composite leading the way to the downside again. A bit of a reversal from what we saw late in the day yesterday after that press conference from Fed Chair Powell. The Russell as well standing out here pretty weak, 1.5% for all three, the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. S&P and the Dow also back in negative territory. We were talking about some of the big tech names. It's worth noting, Apple here, it's down 2%, but holding up pretty nicely right now for Apple, trying to test some lows from the past couple of days. Tesla on watch as well. There was a note that was suggesting China was going to re-up some of the EV subsidies over in that country once again for some of these EV makers. So Tesla actually back to the upside, guys, trying to hold 750 right now. Back over to you.
It's
a whippy chart. That's a whippiest chart I have up here.
It's embarrassing not still being long AMD, to be honest with you. That was back-to-back day. We've had 5 days in a row. AMD is banked for us hard. And then today it's just another one of those days where the cash register is open for AMD. And look at this movement. 103. Are you kidding me right now, AMD? We were just long at $100 down there, man. And by the way, sometimes holding works out and is very nice because right here, upside move for Facebook. We're long right now 198. So that's starting to blow to the upside. And now that I look at it, I don't even have an offer. So let's get another offer out here right there. Bang, we'll take that. $1.50 now in the money. Ding, 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 ding. Upside right now for Facebook as we return to the high of the day for myself. There's Facebook right up there to VWAP. So that's going to be a good trade there. Wow, did that ever take off? It took a minute, man. And we wanted, unfortunately, we got some out there at 198, but look at that reload. Let us reload there. We only saved ourselves 20 cents. Probably not worth it at the end of the day. But I had layered orders coming down in on Facebook, right? What we wanted for Facebook, again, was this 196. I wanted to have a look at this, so we didn't. So fine. So let's get out a little bit now. If it comes back in, this is where we want to put on shares, man. I mean, it's a good trade. I have it. I'm happy with $1.50 in the money, fine. But right now, that's going to be a bigger trade for me. And then we'll put it on again. Like, we come down into 197, we're going to put on shares because you see the move to the upside here. And this is the explosion that you get in Facebook, man. And I said it on every single time I do a trade of the day. It's like, just find your levels and stick with them and then play a stock to the side that you like. You know, I wrote down here AMD that we wanted to go short. But once we saw that that wasn't really the play and we didn't get our levels off the open, we realized that we got a long level of 100 that we loved. We even talked about that earlier on in the show as well. So play your stock to the right side. And here we go, $1.70 now in the money on Facebook long. Also, Target getting ready to get spicy. It just touched 162, as you guys saw there. We didn't get out. We're getting out a little bit north of that. In fact, 162.02 is my target for that one. So we're going to see if we get out on that right now. Let's see if the NASDAQ is having a problem. And the reason why I'm talking about this with the NASDAQ is we just bounced off that 50 period. So that's not good for my Facebook trade. Let's take a piece out of Facebook instead of waiting for more because we're bouncing off that 50 period. But hey, maybe we take it out. I don't know. Yeah, let's dance with Facebook, man. We're on a monster day. Still even now higher than we were at 4 o'clock yesterday. So that's questionable. It's right there. But we're going to wait to see what this does. Target right now, 162 is my target for the out.
Curl just happened on Macy's, so we got back to 1975. It couldn't really get to that 20 level, but it is holding 1950. Bit of an iceberg there. If it breaks through that, I think it retraces through to 19 even. So we'll ring a little bit of the register there. I do like this consolidation area. We just got a question about it, and thank you for the super chat there. VTNR making some power moves to the upside. Yeah, my daily on anything is looking like it's not wanting to load. But this is a we talked about double tops the other day. Like, this is a multi-day high break, this 15.25. So it's on one right now, and it's got a bid behind it. There is a NASDAQ bid for about 30,000 shares, which is kind of walking it up here at, like, size doesn't really matter. It actually just got filled. So someone just got filled up there at 1610. They were walking it up since it broke that 16 area. But I think it's now on jailbreak territory. It did make a big pullback into $15. So I think you have a wide range if it were to fall from here. But I don't really see any resistance levels that are in its way. So it has to be back below 16, I think, for it to really start to come back in. Pretty strong move for this. And someone also asked about Affirm. Affirm got through that 25.15. I will show you the 15-minute chart. It's now in breakout territory. There is nothing until
stocks are going to
like 28 and then 30. Like, this is a huge range it's got to go. That's why you've got to be getting out when these things break those levels. Once it got through 25.50, I showed it every single day that it was here, and we're out of it when it breaks. You don't want to give it back because now you've got a huge gap to the upside. Ms. V?
Hey guys, I hope you're having a great morning so far, and remind you to like this video, team. We need just 600 more likes to get 2,000, so we'd really appreciate if you find some time, literally less a second, and smash that like button. Back to you guys.
Yeah, let's come on. Let's go, guys. Let's get that going right now. We only have a $7 winner on with Target and a $2 winner on right now with Facebook, so I think that's like-worthy. We're going to put one more offer up here near 201. I mean, if Facebook really wants to climb, then yeah, I'll be sitting here to take a little bit out on that move to the high side of the day. 201, I mean, unbelievable. Didn't think we'd get that when I was getting out of Facebook down here. But hey, here it goes, man. We're approaching 201 faster than we think. I mean, I'm not going to sit exactly at 201. Let's try like a $200.80 type thing here for this. Still, AMD still ripping to the upside. I believe that was a call for Brendo.
All about the retailers. Here's another one, guys. BBY trying to make a move back to the upside, testing these pre-market levels down as well on the Target report. May 2-4 earnings for BBY.
Yeah, it's weird because like May 2-4 is a big thing here. You guys are like, May 2-4? What's the big deal? We get a different holiday than you guys. Memorial Day for you guys, but this weekend for us in Canada, which is May 2-4. Tesla did finally come to 760. So look, I waited pretty much. I mean, it's at this point, it's all morning. It's like 37 minutes. It's not Like, I didn't have to wait forever, but I waited around for this level to finally come in. I'll check back in on NVIDIA, see where it is, but Tesla just got a curl right at about 58s here on it, so I want to get a little bit of a scalp trade on the first little part and try to hold on to see how far it pulls back. As this is happening, because it's a pretty significant market bounce, there's NVIDIA. 180, 50, that's close. It's not exactly where I would have liked it. And I just did get into Tesla, which could be a little bit more interesting there. But yeah, that probably needed to go. It's a $2 range of entry for NVIDIA. So it's not quite strong enough to jump into it in what is still, the market off of these lows. It's not a huge move. You're relatively strong. The difference between Tesla and NVIDIA is relative strength in the semis. Like, you're still off of these lows, and NVIDIA is getting toward those highs. So I don't want to see something which shows relative strength when it's too far away from my price. Like, I'd be risking $1.50 to my stop on NVIDIA, so I'm going to actually back away from that trade. Tesla's definitely good enough. That OTRA, still working with that one, by the way. It did bounce off VWAP now a second time here at 1050. If this gets through the high, it's get out on a top break. It's not getting stubborn about it. 10% up from there is another level. Tesla now about 5 in the money. I want to see if it can get down to about 745 to 750 as a target range. NEO, thankfully, we did not reload NEO to the shorts. Well, I shouldn't say that because it would have worked, but it's showing signs of relative strength, so I'm not reloading it as we got into Tesla just now. No need to be doubling down, tripling down on the entire sector. I'm already holding a NEO short. I just entered a Tesla short, averaging into NEO at the same time. We've already shorted it 3 times this morning. No need to do that. We can always be patient with our plays, guys. So Tesla looks like it's going to maybe test this 750 on VWAP. That'll be a nice little curl trade. Still not bad. Like, Tesla trying to go positive on the day, but this is the level that we wanted to fade.
All right, Henry Z wants a bang. There you go, Henry. You got one. All right, so we got, again, Facebook fading here. We broke down this 50 period again on the NASDAQ. Oops, that's not the NASDAQ. On the NASDAQ right here, we're starting to break downside. So unfortunately, we were waiting for $1 higher on Facebook, but we just, oops, where's my minute chart so I can show you? We just got a piece out right there. Unfortunately, it's purple. It's because I had my offers up here. So it looks like I short sold. That's going to get corrected after. But we are now out of a piece there for Facebook. Now we're only holding, unfortunately, that 10% again. Actually, it's a little bit more than that. What am I talking about? It's 20%, 20, 40, 60, 81. So yeah, we're still holding about, actually, it's like 18% or so of our Facebook trade, but that's going to come back in. We're looking to reload at the bottom again. Like, I don't even want to play in the middle. We'll get something down here at 197, if not lower than that. Okay, target, man. Wow, what a good target we had there. It didn't break 162. Can you guys believe that? That's where we were looking to get out, 162. It's going to break at some point, but it just resisted it 4 or 5 times. So let's wait to see if that comes in. And then here we go. We'll hit our siren right now because there it is. There's a new trade. If you hear that, it means there's a new trade on board. For me, there's Apple now to the downside. We just put that short on as well. We are now short at 146.10. Not a great price, but I wanted to start it there. Obviously, you can see where we'll average into, 146.50, something like that, but I don't have enough shares now, so I'll take them as we layer up here on Apple. Why? Apple's down 2.25, right? Market's not even down 2 yet. So, hey, if the market is indeed going to fail and not want to take out some of these 50 period. I mean, we may not take the 50 period again. We will, but who knows? If it comes to the downside here, the Nasdaq's been a little sick today. So let's just trade Apple. Apple down here, 145.78. We could take out 30 or 40 cents right there. Maybe we'll do that and then hold the rest. But 145.70 right here. Let's take out a piece if it tests the bottom for Apple, and then maybe we get lower, lower, lower. How low can she go? This is 145 right there on Apple. That was yesterday's close. So we can look at that, see what's going on with Apple. But for right now, let's take a piece out at 75 if we're lucky enough to get that, and then we'll work from there. So right now, Apple, newest position short. We got out of some of our Facebook, which turns out to be a good call, and now we'll wait to see where we go from here.
Yeah, and we'll ring a little bit of a register there. We drew a line in the sand for Tesla. It finally got there. I'll do this because I don't want to tempt fate by flipping my charts too much. It's going to get me in trouble when I do it too fast. But Tesla comes back to that 750. So the quick little curl trade, that's the one that we were waiting for. And if you picked 750, like that would have given you the same move at the open. It happened to be the higher level that I liked. So we'll go ahead and take that one out, in and out pretty quick. Genius Brands is now. So it did bounce off 80 cents and went to 85. If this doesn't break back and make a tested VWAP, I don't think I want to get on the bid again, like I said, till 75. But I am monitoring it. It's showing some signs of trying to make another move to the upside. And remember, it did have a catalyst. Like it's not like it didn't run for no reason. Veru, on the other hand, like this is the one that definitely got away. Like I was looking and I'm kicking myself. Like maybe it was worth a short off to 1650, but it's now down to 1420. And if you pop back, we're now halfway to support levels on Veru, which I didn't think was going to come into play without being shorted, but here we are, $12.50 to about $13. Like you can kind of see on the chart, it's pretty obvious where you would think this is going to make its bit of a stand. Because I took the Tesla trade, I didn't reload on NEO, so that's the reason for not getting more shares here. It is worth noting it's bouncing off VWAP as well. If the futures make another leg down, all the targets remain the same. I'll take some more shares out, 25 to 1630, and then down to 16 even, and try to hold on to some of this potentially for all day. But if it takes out the top, I'm just like a firm, I'm gone. Brendo?
Another one a lot of people talking about this morning, BBIG, guys, back above day highs here. Getting into an area, though, where you might find a bit of problem, 350 up to 360 up in this area, a huge level for Vinco Ventures.
I told you, Dominic, I wouldn't short that one at 310.
Shout out to Parlay Prad, crushing it yesterday. He sent me some screen caps there. This guy
On the parlays or on something else?
No, on the parlays, man.
Oh.
He was killing the parlays over there. He has his headphones on right now, I think. But Parlay Prad doing business last night. Congratulations to the Miami Heat. Wow, they handled Boston pretty easily. Outscored them by like 25 points in the third quarter. But they were losing. They had one good quarter, but again, they're doing this all without Kyle Lowry, which I just hope that if the championship is, if the Heat get by, I have Boston, so if the Heat can get by the Celtics, I do hope for the Heat to win the championship, bring it back to the Eastern Conference right there. So I do like, I mean, Jimmy Buckets is amazing. The way he plays in the playoffs is incredible. I mean, you could step up your game in the playoffs. That's great. So shout out to everybody watching the Heat. And then also I feel a little vindicated because Tampa Bay just wiped the floor with number one Florida. So it's like, you know, the Leafs had one bad game, game 4. So I'm just hoping that at least, you know, making the Leafs, and again, this is like what we do here in Toronto, after 5 straight years of losing in game 7s, you know, not even getting.
Do you know the stat about that?
Yeah, it's 0 for 10.
They're the only team
in all sports
in the history of North American big sports to lose a winner-take-all game in the first round of the playoffs 5 years in a row. It hasn't happened in basketball, baseball, football, hockey, except for the Maple Leafs, as if we don't have enough pain.
Yeah. No, it's bad. And of course, for football, it would be one loss, but I don't even think a team's lost 5 years straight anyways in the playoffs. But anyways, yeah, disaster.
4 maybe in the Super Bowl.
4 Super Bowl, but at least you got there. I mean, the Leafs aren't even getting past the first round. Okay, so that's the Buffalo Bills talk right now and sports talk. So let's get back into the market right now as Facebook did make that bottom at 198.50. I still want to see this lower. That's fine. Averaged in right now, so alert again on this Apple trade. This could blow up against us, so we have to be very, very careful with this one. Apple was looking pretty strong yesterday. It has its moments, I'll leave it at that, where yesterday we were very nervous about this. We were trying to defend that 148, 149. It did blow higher into the close. It made a nice high at 150 almost, gave it back, ending the day at 149. So it does have the capabilities here of, I mean, look where we're trading now. Look where we could be, right? So you got to watch out for this trade. I don't want to be in this for a very long time, but that doesn't matter what I want. It's what the market wants. So where's my outs going to be for Apple? Good question, Sean. What about 148? Honestly, that could be a little, I mean, it's a high area there, but do we want to hold for that long? I mean, that's really the question. So 148 was right there today already at 8:30. So we do know it has the possibility to get up there. We don't have a huge position on. We have about half of what we're comfortable with right now. So I'm looking. This 147 is quite interesting. We have all these wicks that happened earlier, so maybe 147.50, maybe even a 147 out. So yeah, we'll probably use this out as 147. Let's see if we can get some out and then reload it. I'd feel more comfortable averaging into this play. Facebook all the way back up, so we kind of do have a little bit of a proxy, but I have like 5 times the position on Apple that I do on Facebook right now. So would prefer a move to the downside, but there's a nice rally back on Facebook after touching 199. So, you know, watch out for that. If you're looking long Facebooks, you can grab long 199 here and use this bottom 198.50. So that's an interesting play. But for me, I'm focused on Apple right now.
Yeah, and new focus for me. Well, I'll get to OTRA. Took some more shares out of that one again. But Rivian up 4%, broke out off this 28 level. You can sort of see that here. The next gap, there is this at about 28, 85, 29, this area right here, going back a couple of weeks or so ago. If it breaks this, psychologically 30, but I think more realistically, you're looking at like 31 as a bit of a top. That's a range we traded a lot, 30 to 31 when I look back. If I see that, then I know it's a choppy zone if I was longing at that level. So if it gets to 30, that's an entirely different trade. But certainly into this 29 area, I just started into it. I'm going to take it into 29. If it does a false break, I don't want to go all in, because if it breaks 29, I want to give it a shot to pull a false breakout from that level and then maybe add to the position. But Rivian, super strong. I said I could always pay for the shorts if it came to a key level. Didn't do it right away. I just did that. So that didn't take very long. And then go back over to this OTRA, which Brendan brought to us. It got to VWAP again. False broke 11.25 here, and then sort of came back to the upside. So went again and took $1 for the next leg on this trade. The amount of times it's been finding buyers down at that price, it does make sense to get out of it. And someone said NEO took out the high of the day. I'm like, no, it didn't. Now it's taken out the high of the day. And by the way, I knew it hadn't taken out the high of the day because I had a stop. Like, there's no way. Like, our stops work, right? Like, I would have been out of the trade if it took the stop out a couple of minutes ago, but it did take out the top. I said when we took the Tesla trade, I was not going to be going back into NEO. That was still a wipeout bottom. Like, you've got a wick-off bottom on NIO. The short worked, but once it took out the high, you want to get out of that trade, get the heck out of Dodge. Now my sights are focused on Rivian and back to the other names that we had. Macy's as well, starting to make another move to the upside, trying to take out this 20. So it's got a bit of a recovery it's trying to put in here. The futures, they've now bounced back toward these afternoon lows, like the afternoon bottom that we had when Powell was speaking. So if we can get through that, you want to watch out for your shorts. That's why we've been trimming, taking profits on them. Don't like a lot of these longs. I mean, obviously, there weren't a lot that we're setting up here, but one that I am watching is Micron, which is coming back to its pre-market lows. Much like NEO, it had that wick-off bottom, and now you're looking to see if it has some support off of these pre-market lows here, guys, which happen to coincide with some support from yesterday in the afternoon.
I mean, right now, Apple, there it goes, man. We just talked about averaging into this short. We're now 55 cents in the money on this Apple trade. So we're going to go 5 for 5 here today, it looks like. Facebook coming to the downside. Sorry. Yeah, 5. We have 5 trades. Coming to the downside again goes Apple right now. We just got this bid right there. Look at that, 83. We're just sitting there. And this is not... Like, I hope the trading that I'm doing, and then, as others are being sued, other streamers, things like that for, pumping stock and whatnot. You can Google that to find that out if you want. But here I am, just sitting right here, taking trades, showing you every single trade, and trying to educate you on what some of these key levels are. And I don't know. I mean, this is not... To me, not rocket science. It comes right back in. And sure, it's great that we get that bottom tick at 145.80. That's fantastic. But you got to be sitting there to take the trades. So we're sitting there. We put that in. And again, reason why. We took double outs right there, then another out right there. And we're going to try to reload this using 147 as our outs. Meanwhile, Facebook ripping right now, $2 in the money on that name as that's starting to go up to the upside. So yeah, all is well right now. The only thing that I'm really mad about, and look, what am I supposed to do? AMD, I wasn't sure on the strength today for this name because of stupid NVIDIA, which I'm super happy with. I own NVIDIA. It's great that that's moving up. But look at this trade, man. We had AMD dead to rights down here at $100. This is a $4 winner right now, and we don't have it. We are so happy to take $1.70 on this. So, a little frustrated there on that trade, but hey, we have it all, man. And it's only 10:20. We're rocking and rolling. We don't have losers on. It's been a pretty good day. Oh, so before I go over to Brendan, one more thing to talk about. Remember what level, and if someone can say what level we talked about for AMC, shout out to Internet Enforcers. You know where we were long? 1250 on AMC. It's at $14 right now. There's that $12.50. We have it, man. And where did I get out? At a whopping $13.10 right there and holding nothing as there goes AMC up 10%. And the funny thing is, I said, we want to see AMC give us some levels. Well, I mean, it came right into the level that we loved. We took it, we hit it, we made the money on it. Congratulations to all the apes out there. I'm glad to have given you guys some levels, and I'm glad for you to be holding it if you are. AMC moonshot right now. Brendan over there at the big screen with something I haven't traded today, small caps.
Hey guys, yeah, busy morning. Let's jump right into things here. AGRI, we were talking about just before the open. I moved this bottom line up a bit to 15, so 315, 310. There's a clear seller, 310 to 315. Every time it got up there, got sold back down. Here we go. Finally moving back to the downside for AGRI. 350 was what I was looking at above that. So you had to be patient with that, but starting to work a little bit. Here's VERU. I tried the long because there was a clear level here, 1550 to work off of this morning. Flip that short. That gave you $1 plus to the downside. On the short side, NCMI, which was AMC's new purchase or investment, broke 170. I mean, not a huge trade, down to 150, but not much to do with NCMI so far this morning, guys. Back over to you.
Yeah, and
let's get those likes up, first of all. 1.7K, guys. Hit
well,
those likes.
More
let's go, man. Over 7,000 people watching right now. Let's see if we can, I mean, we have records that are much higher than this, but let's get that going here. Miss V's over there. She's trading some Tesla. We've got some good going. And right here, like, I hate looking at this, man. 1.7 down here. Turn this guy around. I don't even know if you can see that on the screen, but let's go right there, 1.7. If we can get that going, that would be absolutely fantastic. Neil, what you got?
No, I was going to say, almost more importantly, we have a chance to get 300,000 subs today.
Oh, that might be,
that's I actually got to double check to see where
we're at. We'll go to Valeria for an update
That's
on
a big number. And you were just talking about NVIDIA being strong there. And this is the thing, like every single name out there, we're going to try and cover the best. NVIDIA almost went positive. It didn't quite get there, but it just stalled at 181. And whoa, it just took out a 180
the
level.
market is tank city
I just tried to get the 180 break on NVIDIA and now got it. Into the downside. And we were sort of waiting for this curl as well. Like we waited a little bit patiently for Tesla. Now we get the curl on NVIDIA. It did get into that 180 to 182 range and then failed at 181. So I'm into an NVIDIA short here. I'll give it to its recent high as we get that check-in with Miss V.
Hey guys, first of all, thank you so much for 2,000 likes. You're the best. We appreciate it a lot. And 170 more subscribers are needed to become 300,000 subscribers community. So team, please, if you're not a subscriber yet, smash that subscribe button, help us. And hopefully today we already will be celebrating 300,000 subscribers.
I mean, someone's got to go get some alcohol or something for that. The troll likes
it's
it
not
right
that we
now.
always have to have alcohol.
No, we don't. We can have whatever, but just pop a champagne at least there. I do not want to inhibit my trading whatsoever because right now, man, the bank has been open for me for the last little while, and it is once more again here today. As there goes Apple, man. The market just tanked down. Apple made a big move to the downside. Like I said, we already got that 80. We were not sitting anywhere here, so we should have been. But I had targets of 145. So, speak about target. We can check on that in a minute. But now I'm going to put another bid out here. Now I got a bid at 145.60 in case that move happens one more time. Look at the NASDAQ, man. It's so frustrating right now. It's doing nothing. This is barcoding. We're used to this. Yesterday it was kind of doing this until they started rolling out some of the Fed, and then the market started to move. But for right now, I'm feeling heavy on the market, so we're gonna stay short Apple. This is the name that we like. Apple down 2.5% right, while 2.25%. NASDAQ down 1 3/4. So a little bit of relative weakness here in Apple, but now it's starting to go, which is fine. I mean, right now we're out of some Apple shares. We still have 3 times more Apple shares than we do Facebook shares. but Facebook keeps on testing these highs as well. So if I get ripped off on Apple, we'll still lose on that trade if it goes through 147. But at least if that happens, then I have visions of Facebook taking down this 201. So as long as they kind of move in unison here, I don't have it on purpose. This is not a hedge. I'm just in my mind, I'm always trying to think about, worst case scenarios, best case scenarios, what's happening to my net. And Neil, I know that me and you are both on the salad. And by the way, you know this to be true. Ever since you switched over to salads, the quality, but anyways,
I should take one for the team and just move off the salad
chicken,
lunch.
listen to this. I know Pratt had never heard of this on a sandwich before, but chicken and bacon clubs today. So, I mean, that's pretty solid.
Yo, that salad better be, you know what it better not be? It better not be.
It's going to have slices of chicken on it.
If we get a tuna, like the tuna salad on top of the salad,
love the tuna salad.
what do you think we had for like sandwiches? Because it was soccer last night, so we got in. It's like there was no time for dinner.
Jacks. That's
back-to-back tuna fish sandwiches is
Does
probably.
she have tuna melts? We never tried that with my kids. Maybe I should try a tuna melt.
She does. It's weird, man. She loves cheese, but then if you get too fancy with stuff, it's like, oh, you can add melted cheese to your tuna
still
fish.
throwing down ketchup on
like,
spaghetti?
On everything, man.
Oh, on everything.
On everything. Which is, it's fine. We go through a lot of ketchup in my house. She's 5 years old and she loves her ketchup. And if you have kids, you understand
we don't
what
mind
that is.
French's ketchup. We used to be pure Heinz, but we're also French's. So that's Canadian. So we're trying to support
Heinz, baby.
No, Heinz still good, but
Heinz, baby.
French is pretty good. The mustard as well, obviously there. So all day, every day.
I want to make some people happy by at least acknowledging SoFi. So a little slow clap for how strong SoFi is. Like, of course, like the day that I'm not looking to take this consolidation along on SoFi, like how many days does it actually give this? It's like when you stop doing it, it might actually break out. I say might because when we had this before, it couldn't get through 750. And I got really stubborn about it, trying to hold for the bigger break. And that chart doesn't want to go back further. My daily chart is non-existent. So 750, big level on SoFi. It is trying to get through right now, but if it can get through this, it's got a lot of overhead run to go. Might need some help from the market here, Brendo.
All right, we're going to get crude oil inventories here in a second. Before we do that, though, a whole bunch of those low float runners starting to go. Here's another one, DPSI, just noticed up 115% today on very, very low volume. It's already halted a couple of times. Also, PIK, that kid pick, popped up on volume as well. So some of the low float type stocks trying to go. Let's get a check on how things over in Europe are shaping up this morning. Miss V, how are things?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are negative. Technology stocks are among worst performers, and earnings remain in focus, with Euronext up more than 4% after reporting record quarterly revenue.
All right, crude oil gives back a 2% gain. We're basically flat going into this number. So as soon as it comes through, I'll come back, guys, with crude oil.
Well, something just took a turn to the. Hopefully that wasn't the.
It was the mic. Yeah.
Something just turned on the market.
Ones.
Something just turned in the market. Nvidia just started to roll over pretty heavily. Well, Rivian, which I was in, just started to roll over pretty heavily. And then at the exact same moment I got into the only long I'm in now, is Micron just filled me on the bid. So yeah, I'm going to start thinking about where we need to take some. I didn't even have bids out on Rivian for this curl, but back into VWAP is, you guys know the play. Like, it's back into VWAP that I want to get this one out. I just rang the register on Nvidia there. So we're really, really patient with Tesla, and we're just as patient with Nvidia, which, like, AMD has tried. I had long Nvidia yesterday when AMD was going. And today I said, if it's relatively weak, you just got to short the pop on Nvidia, because when AMD is going, if Nvidia can't take out the high, then you just have to short it. And that's exactly what I didn't do yesterday. Brendan, what just happened?
Oil stocks moving higher, a drawdown, negative 3.3 million versus a build of 1.38 expected. So down 3 million versus an increase of 1 expected.
Oh, Oxy's getting smoked.
Right there, bang. Apple, we just got that fill on Apple, man. That's another 70 cents there for that trade, as that's going to the downside right here. Look at the NASDAQ. And again, it reacts to the Apple move. The oil move there, and then just goes right back up and says, no, we want to trade in this range again. So let's just wait to see. I do have oil down here. If you're, it's going to be, ooh, we got the counter on there. I was going to say, so we'll check that out. There's oil right now making that move up. $2.99. What happens if someone unsubscribes? $2.99, $8.62. Now I'm going to be addicted to watching that. That's good though. 113 right now, 114 coming for crude. Again, we were just talking about that level on crude, right? And that was 116. It needs to break through. We touched it there. Well, we touched 115.50, and it's just been a downside move. Now it's starting to bump up a little bit, but look at it come back. So yeah, the NASDAQ. Ooh, I thought the NASDAQ, might come back on that, but no, it's not. Right now, NASDAQ still cruising lower there. Apple 70 cents in the money, and Facebook still 90.
Yeah, and we actually just touched the low of the day on the NASDAQ. So this is why, if you find something relatively weak, try to hang on to it. I'm going to do this for you guys. That low, which this is beneath the Powell bottom, which on the ES, you can forget about it. We've cleared all the levels on the ES. 4,000 is the next leg. It's this 12.3, and once we get through this, you got 100 points to yesterday's lows. So that 4,000, the two levels to watch. If you got shorts and you're thinking about where to take, if you don't have obvious levels for yourself, then maybe watch those futures to see where we can head into that downside. I got to reload on another short as well. It was actually Macy's. I kind of forgot to mention this. It did come up to that 20. I was able to get some at 19.90, but this is trying to climb. They haven't reported yet. Like, it's not, I'm not saying that Macy's is going to report well, but it's not an absolute given that they have to get dumped like everybody else in retail. But that's what happened. It was a sympathy breakdown, but it's still below that big level on the daily chart, below 20 bucks. So as long as we're below 20, I am short this name until I am not. Speaking of shorts, until we're not, that OTRA looks like it's trying to make this break of this 11 level. Once it does, I'm sitting in front of $10 like any other SPAC. That is a psychological number. That's kind of a fundamental number as well. So more than anything else. So hang on to your shorts. I got into Micron. The timing of getting in front of Micron in front of this low, maybe not the best, but the one long, we'll see if it can try to work here. It was relatively strong yesterday. Like, if you look at some of the semi names that actually had some strength to them in addition to AMD, Micron was in that bucket. Not so much here today, but I do like the long in front of this 23 level.
Look, Fahad does indeed exist. I mean, the thing about it is he exists with SoFi. You still in those SoFi shares, my friend? Oh, you sold them.
Really?
70-cent profit.
Okay.
Hey, man.
You should hang on to a piece of it, though. No?
Right there, yeah. So we were talking about SoFi at 6, but SoFi did break lower. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like getting out and taking profits. 75 cents on $6. It's great return there wherever you got it. But now you're seeing it up to $7.50 right now. Was there news on SoFi today, or this is just getting pulled up? Because look, Roku's up 2%. Now they look at this, DraftKings up 2%. We can look at Penn again at some point. Roblox is up 5%. That was stupid. I talked about that earlier. Didn't trade it. SoFi's up 5%. Fisker, some of these EV names starting to climb up today there. But there goes SoFi, a nice little move off those bottoms. I was looking at 6, so that could have got nasty. I mean, it did get nasty down to 5, but again, you're holding 6, it goes down to 5. Now it's at 750, so risk to reward holding that would have made sense down there, but you don't know where the bottom is, or else we would all pick it. So that's what that is. Costco.
It's SSR.
I did want to. It's down 10%.
It's down 10%. It just hit 10% just now.
Can we find out when Costco reports? Obviously, it's going to be this week at some point. But
I've always wanted to own Costco.
Excuse me. Look at Target right now, guys. We got out at 162. I mean, these shorts were like, yeah, buddy. Our best out down there is $8 in the money. So we did take that out for an $8 winner. Then we took that out for $6. But you could see it's just kind of barcoding, but it looks like it wants to break lower right now. So this is kind of that Walmart trade that we had yesterday at the end of the day, where we were short 132. So we were short Walmart 132. Let's just check back into where Walmart is right now. Woo, doggy. Walmart down to 125 right now. Wow. And again, Baxter, I don't know. He told me he got out at 129. Obviously a little too early there on that move, but what a break right there on Walmart. 129. No, that can't be right. The market opened up there and just Tank City there for WMT. So, wow. Okay, Tank City right now. Apple, hello. Market be fallen and we be jamming, because right now Apple $1 in the money down to the downside right here, as that is going to continue to scream a little lower there. Just a quick look on where we want to get out. All these wicks are like the bane of both of our existences. We hate these wicks, but at the same time, we got to look at charts anyways. 145, I mean, that's held a couple times. Will it hold today? I don't know, man. The NASDAQ has given everything back that it made yesterday. Not really, it was up 2.7%, but good enough there to the day. So let's put one more bid at let's not put one more bid, let's put another bid at 145. But wow, this was a great little reload and trade for me here on Apple. We knew we wanted something short into this tanking market, and we just picked on the same name that we've been doing over and over again. I don't know the last time I was long Apple, really, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, my charts won't show my ticks from yesterday, but we've been shorting this name for a while. So there goes Apple. We identified that it was weaker than the market, and it looks like we're getting paid off a little bit. You know, what's the difference between 145.30 and 145? 30 cents. So let's see if we can get this down here, rocket science.
It's true.
Let's see if we can get this down to 145.20 at least, because if 145 is going to hold, man, what's the difference? We're in the money $1. Let's just take another piece out and then bang ourselves over the head when this thing takes down 145.
Well, you don't want to actually bang yourself over the head. That's usually a bad idea. But I see some buying coming into NVIDIA at around VWAP, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I just keep hitting the hot dog one because maybe we'll have a dog on Friday when the trading floor heads to a Jays game, baby. That should be a lot of fun.
Did you just say maybe?
Maybe?
You say maybe we'll have a hot dog?
Well, I might want something else. I don't know. When we get there, I could have a different feel. But we're going to be enjoying the hot dog winners as well. NVIDIA now starting to curl, the market heading to the downside. Like, I don't want it to be a short day. It just set up as a short day. And it's one of these things that the market tried to get through resistance, and it never broke. Like that overhead resistance on the NASDAQ from last week, it is still in play, and now we're getting this big rollover. I'll give Rivian some credit in that it's actually holding up pretty nicely at these highs. So Rivian's strength still very much in play here. I could have held on to Tesla. NIO broke the highs of the day. I did reload in some Macy's, but for now it looks like the shorts are absolutely winning. I was asked why I'm not involved in Vinco Ventures, because quite frankly, I was looking for 350. I told you guys that stock, I wouldn't short it at that 310 area. I guess it could have been a long there. I didn't take the long. I don't like that break. But 350 was the level I was looking for. It got to 342, not quite close enough for me to get that curl, but it is starting to pull back in front of that key level. Sometimes it doesn't always get there. It goes close, but it doesn't get to your price. Apparently, we are Mr. Tyrone Bigums. We are in Tony's section. So we'll be throwing down. I'll be taking some pictures. Are we really? Apparently, that's what Gregory told me over there. So, but apparently we are in, and no, he will not be serving free beers. I mean, Tony needs to. I literally just typed free beer to Greg right now. Oh God, no. We're paying. No. Tony, look, we don't want him getting some trouble. Well, now I've said it on. Yeah. Now he's got some splaining to do if he gets canned from MLS. Or no, had that hookup at Canada's Wonderland. Yeah. I can't actually. Now that's 25 years ago. That I can't say because. Okay, just real quick here before we get carried away with Tony. But yeah, that's going to be fun, man. Really fun time there. Trader TV night at Rogers Center coming this Friday. Yeah. So that should be a lot of fun there right now. How many hours do I sleep per night? Try to get to bed like around 11:30, and then wake up about 8:20. Go on the air about 8:30. That's a lot of sleep. So yeah, no, about like 7 hours or so. Like trying to get. That's really good. 6.5, 7, something like that. 6:11 for me. Yeah. I actually looked it up exactly. So that's about that. Well, how many do you guys get? Put on the chat how many you guys get. Oh, now I'm opening this up for a can of worms here. But yeah, so far so good here, man. This just went down. I was waiting at 145.20. It went to 145.23. So now I'm at 145.30 here as we are getting rapidly approaching that subscriber count. So that looks really nice there. Love that. I'm obsessed with looking at it there. Yeah, 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. Yeah, that's good, man. I think that's probably good enough there for most people. I think they say you need like 7 to 8, but it's all about everybody's different. Yeah, exactly. It's what your body's used to. So as long as you're feeling good, I feel good every day. Actually, 90-minute cycles. So it's weird. Like 6 and then 7.5 is like kind of optimal. That's a whole other conversation. There goes Apple. I'm really interested in sleep. Like that's a very important part of your life. But I think it's actually time for Sector Watch, which I hate to tell you, but that board's looking one way, Brendo. What a difference an hour or so makes to the overall market.
Now a 2% day to the downside for the S&P. A couple of things to note here. SEDG and ENPH in the energy group standing out, or in the semiconductor group, I should say, standing out as positive. We'll talk about the energy group here in a second. Also, this is retail. Look at the damage being done here in retail today. 25, 17 for DLTR, DG 13%. So a lot of these getting crushed. But TJX, remember we said, beat positive report, so they are up 9.3%. Ross stores as well, 5% to the upside for ROST. So some positivity. I was going to mention the energy sector. Where did it go? Over here. So it is getting better. So we were lower, back to the upside now, getting better for some energy stocks on that move in oil. Remember, bigger drawdown versus a build that was expected. Consumer staple stores or consumer staple stocks under pressure here as well. That's Costco, Walmart, WBA, all you really need to know. Transportation names as well, all crushed today as well. So those travel stocks back to the downside. Hey, it was 2%, now it's 1.9, guys. A bit of a bounce. Back over to you.
Here comes 29 on Rivian. So, like I said, that one was relatively strong. I gave it a bit of a clap, but it just made a test at 29.90 up here. I did get back into it when it tried to take out that high. 29 is, I keep wanting to say 30. 29 is that first line in the sand. If it breaks that, I don't think I want to short this thing until it gets to 30. Relative strength is relative strength, and sometimes you do want to make sure that you respect it. So I'm going to try and do the best there. I was just looking at it like Dollar General is the other one. I almost wanted to say Dollar Tree. Dollarama is the Canadian one. Dollar Tree and Dollar General both trade over 20 times earnings. Like, that's a lot. Those can still come back down. Like, you saw what they did to Target. That trades 13 times, and it's really not that bad of a company. But yeah, all these retail names getting absolutely shellacked, although Macy's is trying to hold up here. It's in the money, but it's not flushing again off that 20 level. So the short interest might be ruling the day there on Macy's. But right now it's Rivian. The only thing that's concerning me is my one long, obviously, and then the Rivian short in front of 29.
Okay, so I want to give a big shout out to Alex because he was talking about Sticky Note Nation had between 103 and 104 shorts for AMD, and he took that trade, took it against me. I wasn't even paying attention because we're focused, obviously, and I feel like rightfully so on Apple. We just took that out there for $1. This would have been much better. So nice little trade there for you. I mean, not much better depending where you took it. I think you said you got 103.50s. It did go to 104.20 or so. Some of those wicks, like if I would have sat here and seen this, I mean, again, there's wick tops everywhere. So it's not, part of like stating something and like wanting to look at it. A lot of it is kind of like, I was going to say like you're finding like a needle in a haystack, but it's kind of like data mining when you're looking for stats. It's like when you look back, you say, oh, that was a wick off top. But at the same time, like what was that? I mean, that still gave it to you down and then ripped right back up through it, right? So sometimes they're great and sometimes you just look at them and be like, because if that really was it came back in, tested again and again. So you have 3 tops there at 104. So to me, that's a little interesting. On that note, I thought I was going to get longer there. I'm at 102.12 right now, trying to reload this against this 101.80. I mean, it's just that simple right here for AMD. I mean, wow, Apple is now $1.25 in the money, trying to take down. I mean, right now, this is working out perfectly. We're $1, literally the same amount of money in both trades. We're $1.25 in the money on Facebook long and $1.25 in the money on Apple short right now. So, hey, man, we're dancing with the NASDAQ right now, but I can't find better partners than these two names as they're matching pretty good right here. So there goes Apple. Apple just took down the level that we were concerned about, 145. We're still short at 146.20. We just tweeted this. We've got some pretty hot fire tweets this morning right now. So here's a tweet right now on Apple. Apple to the downside. There's the short. Here it comes in. Boom. Down, down, down. We love the name for an investment. I want to pick some up around 140. It's getting close right now. But here's a nice little move down for Apple. We take it 100% sticky note trading. Let's go on that one. But yeah, good movement down here for Apple. And there it is, starting the long for AMD. So we'll hit this because we guys want to know when I'm in new trades, when I'm out of trades. There it is. There's the alert. We are now in a new trade for AMD, long at 102.12, willing to average this in, looking at like a 101.50 or so area for the ultimate drop down for AMD.
I haven't looked at this in a while, but UVXY now approaching a double top for the day. So if this breaks out, it's like 15.25. We're back above that 15 level, which was resistance. That's why favoring shorts, obviously, through a level like that. But if we break out this top, yeah, your shorts probably get even better. So once again, we are looking at volatility. That's going to be important. And we talk about stink bids. Retail's getting smoked. I got one today. I was just going through my quote board. I'm like, oh, Procter & Gamble hit 150.04 today, down 2.5%. This is now back through its 200-period moving average. So, yeah, the shellacking or whatever you want to call it, it's hitting everybody. They're hitting them all, guys. And then realistically, if you like a company, then we talk about dollar cost averaging being a thing. That's one thing I do believe in. Certainly, you can't pick a bottom, but you can't get into something if you don't throw a bid out there. OTRA is continuing to slide down, so that one looks like it's going to work into the downside for us. Now starting to really flush. Micron, I just thought the market was about to take another leg down, and Micron just got back to break even. So I guess we're getting a bit of a bounce here. I'm going to be taking some of this off. If we get like 20, 30 cents in the money in this, I should probably be trimming some on Micron because the long hasn't worked yet.
Honestly, this is unbelievable, man. When am I going to add some goddamn zeros to the end of these share sizes? Right now, we just took AMD at 70 cents in the money. We just averaged in. Look at this. We just talked about this 101.80 level right there. Unbelievable the way some of these names are moving right now for us. So we'll take a piece out, and then it just stopped out at 102.50. So we're waiting at 102.59 right now to take 70 cents on there. I mean, there it is right there. Honestly, man, this is what we're feeling like. Here it goes. AMD, adios, $1. We just took this trade. We just talked. You want me to throw the bull? Let's get this bull out of here. See you later. The bull's gone. There you go, playmaker. Big time movement. There goes AMD to the upside. See you later, bull. Let's see where we go from here. But now we've been bullish on AMD the whole day. We have a 100 fill. We have a 101.8. This is now $1 in the money on that trade that we just took for you. So it's a banging kind of a day, man. We're glad we're here with you. It's a touchdown right there. I'm not shouting out the Tampa Bay Bucks for you there, playmaker, because you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. Dallas Green Bay this year.
How does that happen?
I don't know, man. Sharif, don't start with me. But
you like Dallas?
Another Dallas fan over here. So there he is. But anyways,
Cowboys aren't winning.
We'll see what's going on with Dak Prescott this year. That guy's too busy doing the shimmy before the game. You see how he moves his hips? What's up with that guy? AMD, a nice little move to the upside right now.
All quarterbacks do that.
$1 right now on that one. Yeah, it's to stretch out their hips. But there it is. Nice move. Look at this, man. $1 in the money AMD. $1 in the money Apple. $2 in the money Facebook. Here we go again. We're going to end the day. We still have 10 minutes left, but we are monstrous here again. Everything today, perfect. I got to get that Street Fighter thing back on there. Lucas, if you can find that Street Fighter thing, if we have it, I don't know where it is, but I need it on the board because it's one of my favorites. Today's been another great day. $100 away on the subs, guys.
99.
There it is. Yeah, 99 problems. Subs ain't one. Let's get that going right now.
How could we not, we have 10 minutes to go. How could we not actually get this before we have to throw over? Come on. You want us to be able to celebrate. I know you guys are waiting for the last second to do it because it's more exciting. And you want to, look, I know you want to be that 300,000th person. I get it. You get to be that one that did it. But come on, let's get there, guys. Brendan is at the big screen. And I haven't looked once at what crypto is doing all day. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going on. Money talks.
Hey, guys. Yeah, pretty quiet day so far for currencies. Cryptos are red on the day, but holding some of those levels that we saw come into play late in the day yesterday. If you remember, we had to move back to the downside. The dollar overall back higher today, a bit of a bounce for the US dollar. So some of these under pressure again. The Canadian dollar here was down about 0.5%, but trying to bounce, trying to hold some key levels here around 78. So this was the move that happened post-Fed. As the U.S. dollar made its big move back to the upside recent highs. So we're trying to bounce into the range here. Overall, a relatively quiet day, though, as I mentioned, 0.25% there. Excuse me. My voice is dying. Japanese yen, Swiss franc popping back up to the upside. Turkish lira, Russia, Russia back to the upside, another 4%, 4.5%. 1.5, guys. So it is a quiet day for currencies. Back over to you.
Yeah, like we cannot seem to get back above this 30,000 mark, man. I took a quick look to see, like, we're below 30,000. Like, did I like anything on Coinbase? Because I've been looking at trading that when we traded in the afternoon, and it wasn't at a level I liked, unfortunately. So, you know, not going to force anything there. Someone just asked me if I got the reload in NVIDIA. Not quite, because, quite frankly, it didn't get to the price I wanted. So, you know, it stalled just above 180. You know, I'm short at 180.5 there. I did get triggered out of Rivian. It did take out the high of the day, so relative strength still remains in Rivian. That is a pretty, I know it looks parabolic, but it's somewhat of a linear move, and it still has room. Like, once it got through that level, remember what we talked about for this massive channel that it has going on here. It's got some room to maybe even not only get to 30, which was all kinds of support at 30. That's an obvious level, but if it breaks that, you know, this sort of 31 and a quarter, that's another level as well. So there's plenty of places to get back towards Rivian, but given the relative strength, I'm going to hold off. I rang the register on some long micron. It's the only thing I have to the long side. Everything else, it's a short till it's not, Brendo.
All right, it is almost the end of the show here. We have 10 minutes to go. We've been discussing over the past little while some changes that are going to be happening to the show, and we'll inform you a little bit more on one of those now. As we said, the midday show is going to be looking a little bit different coming up. It's been an amazing couple of years overall for the channel. We've achieved a ton of amazing things on the channel. Miss V is joining me. She has been an amazing part of this growth for this channel, but go ahead, Valeria.
Thank you, Brandon, and hey team, I have news for you. So my working permit came to an end in Canada, and unfortunately, starting next week, I won't be on Trader TV Live anymore. Therefore, you will always remain my trading family. I will come to the chat, check on you, and guys, you're the best. Thank you for everything, and just I'm pretty sure you will take care of the chat as you usually do.
Yes, so as we said, obviously a big change coming. Starting on Monday, we will be without our beloved Miss V. I know I can speak to everyone here, especially the three of us, Neil, Sean, and I, when we say thank you for everything that you have done for this show and for this channel. We appreciate everything. Guys, make sure you're with us Friday afternoon as we wish Miss V all the best.
Thank you.
And try to remember, like Valeria will be a part of this family forever. Right, like just because she won't be on the show, she is still part of the Trader TV Live family here. So make sure, like a Friday, we're gonna do it up. It's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be sort of fun celebrating the entire time that she's been here and putting in so much work in trading as well, trading Tesla, which she's done fantastic with. I can't tell you how hard it is. Trading is hard enough, let alone going live when you've basically barely been exposed to the market and trading arguably one of the toughest stocks out there. And she dove in and accepted that challenge. And, you know, we're going to miss her. It's that simple. Yeah,
I mean, yeah. We you know, we've known about this for a bit, but yeah, it's sad that that's happening. But look, we felt that the best thing to do would be to tell everybody so we could spend the next couple of days, you know, celebrating, you know, how lucky we've been to have her, and that's why we decided to do that now. I mean, other than we could have dropped it on you Friday afternoon, and then no one, you know, so it's just, this is helping more people, hopefully give her well wishes, Miss V, yeah. So that's, we're turning the page, you know, we'll be back better than ever, but it is always sad to lose a member of our team. So see you to Miss V, but she, like you said, hopefully not gonna be a stranger. So, you know, we're really, you know, we're upset about it, but at the same time, you know, nothing we can do except for move forward. So thank you, Ms. V, for everything. And that is what that is right now. So let's just enjoy the next couple days here. And I'm sure Prad is, you know, drowning in his sorrows over there, but he already knew. We all knew about this. So it's going to be a great afternoon show the next couple of days, so make sure you stay tuned for all of those, as I'm just looking for more trades here right now to come through. I'm actually looking at a reload for AMD. That went all the way up to 103. Our best out there was 102.60 off of that 101.80 bid. We're going to try to take more bids down here if it does come in. That's what we're looking at for that. Oil's down to 111, so that's kind of dropping. It was up 3 or 4%, now down 0.8%. 0.7% there for oil. Apple is still cruising. It did touch that crazy bottom of 144.80, but basically just been bouncing off 145. We have more bullets to fire on this one. As long as VWAP and everything on the NASDAQ is below, I'm pretty happy holding the short on this name, and then holding both these longs, both on Facebook and in AMD. But wow, Walmart 124 right now, still going down. There it is right there. Yeah, let's throw down some super chats for Miss V right now. Thanks to Mike for that one as well. The $10 means a lot. You know, any of that is fantastic. There it is. There is the Playmaker
Thanks, brother.
showing up. Thank you to Playmaker for that one. Maybe your Cowboys do have a chance this year. So thank you for that one, Mr. Playmaker. Mr. Baby Buffett is there as well. But we'll leave any more super chats. We'll leave them for Miss V. She'll thank everybody coming up right now. But I'm going to hold these three positions and see what happens.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, it's not to say that we're dug in, but at this time of day, it's like, okay, the shorts are working. To the extent that there's some strength in the semis, there are longs to be had. Rivian's showing some strength. We talked about the Walmart and the Target earnings. Costco almost 11% to the downside. Like, this is one that's getting wood-shitted. I don't think we said this, but they report, is it next May 26th? So Costco has yet to come through, but there are still some earnings to get to. Brennan.
Big ones next week, as we said. Costco, I believe Best Buy was next, 24th, right, for BBY. But here's what's to come tonight and tomorrow morning.
Oh, it ain't over.
No, I mean, all these names. BJ's Wholesale, Kohl's is there too. Like VIP.com, isn't that a like a Wish type of deal there?
It's something.
That is dead. Isn't that VPS or something like that, the symbol?
Is that?
I don't know what the symbol is.
Oh, it's, I mixed it up with VIP Shop.
Yeah, VIP Shop.
It's a different. No, it's different.
Is it? I don't know if it is or not. But anyways, more destruction coming tomorrow for retail for sure. That's going to be. Thank you again for more super chats there, and join Ms. V again for the last couple shows over the next little while. AMD, we didn't get the reload. I just want to check back in Target. Okay, so that was a good out there at 163. So the funny thing is, man, Target's going to the upside, and you know what's going to the downside still?
Walmart.
Like, they are hating on Walmart.
Walmart is expensive. It's like Disney. Like, you don't realize it. You got to look at what the valuation is.
Yeah.
Like, its valuation is, it was like 2x the valuation of like a Home Depot and Target's as well. And Disney was the same way. Like, for some reason, it got this weird tech-ish valuation. Yeah. And I think it's because they keep trying to battle Amazon. So it kind of got caught up in the Amazon mess as well. Kohl's, by the way, KSS down 9%, and it's SSR. This was down 10% as well. So you are getting some weakness overall in the entire space. But Target's catching a bid. It's like trades at 13 times, although I'm sure that's adjusted now. Macy's, they have yet to report. I guess they weren't on the board, so Macy's must be on Thursday. For some reason, I know it's this week. For some reason, I did think that Macy's was coming maybe tonight, but I guess that's going to be in a couple of days. Ms. V again?
Guys, oh my God, there's so much love and support on the chat. Almost crying, literally doing best to do not so, because again, everything will be all right. I wish you all the best. You're amazing. And I see all the super chats. Just thank you, guys. Love you so much. I will miss you so, so much. And happy National Cheese Souffle Day.
Cheese Souffle Day. I don't know, why was she so dramatic there with the cheese souffle? I don't.
Crying.
Oh, because she's crying. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was like cheese souffle and her had like a relationship there.
Yeah,
but,
like honestly, thank you guys so much. Like, you obviously, it means a lot, and you can see how much it means to Valeria there. Yeah, forget about what the actual day it is. It's Miss V Day for the rest of the week, obviously. And we'll try to continue. Look, obviously, not try.
Miss
We
V
will.
week.
We will continue. We will continue with the traditions that she's brought to our show because it's been such a valuable contribution. It's a part of our fabric, I guess, at this particular point. And sort of with that, yeah, I know you guys are enjoying like the market activity, the action of this market, but stay tuned because we're sending you guys over to Trader Pratt and Miss V, so you get to enjoy her for the rest of this session. What a wild day it's been, and it's not going anywhere. These retail names, wowzers. But there they are, Trader Pratt, Miss V, go get them.
Welcome to Market Movers. It is time for Market Mover. Wait, I already said welcome to Market Movers. With I'm choked up too a little bit, but yeah, it's time for this beautiful show with beautiful Miss V and Trader Pratt.
Thank you, Fred. Just 2 days left for us and 3 days. And
You see this? This is all from
I literally need,
crying.
inside of me, everything is cracking. I do my best to not cry.
Yeah.
And again, guys, thank you so much. There was so much support on the chat. Thank you for all